and gentlemen. Welcome to Casting the Spotlight episode number 201.
Hell yeah.
Man, that's different.
Solo.
That'll be a little different to kind of get used to in a way.
200s, yeah.
Yeah, we were in the 100 so long, and the irony is, obviously with 2022, whenever we took off and started basically every single week driving, content out, it put us up that high within a few years compared to the first few years.
Mm-hmm.
But we got there, so yeah, it's definitely worth it to speak on the 200s now, because obviously last episode was the big milestone, and it was great to have Jason and Cody on. I feel like they were definitely it fit the season, the vibe, it was so much fun during October and stuff, and it fell at the right time,
Yeah.
It was just kind of all lined up natural. So
It was definitely a lot of fun. It's kind of funny because it felt like it took forever, and it was kind of a big celebration to get to 100.
mm-hmm.
And then 200, we were in the 100s for a while, but
Yeah, it was
200 just kind of rolled around. It was like, oh shit,
Mhm.
Here we are.
Yeah.
200, not that it's not a celebration as well, but it's we're just chugging along here now.
Yeah. 100 was crazy to get to, and it took just over, I want to say 2 years to get there, because whenever we shot with Mr. Keith Andrews, it was September 2023.
Been a while.
So it was it was just over 2 years. But yeah, it's awesome, and it's a brand new century, I guess, number for the pod. So it'll take a little getting used to, but we are still in the midst of horror season. We have gotten some great episodes still coming up here, and obviously with tonight it is The Daylight in the Dark Part 8. So this is our Jason Takes Manhattan.
That it is. We used the new blood last time, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah. that was basically
I guess,
what it was. 7. We were also. What was the 7th? The 7th Halloween would have been H2O.
Mm-hmm.
And
So we're on Resurrection.
Yeah.
So we're gonna shit the bed.
And we're on for Freddy. We are on Freddy versus Jason, I believe. So there's that, which is not bad. We're on the not released yet Scream 7.
And and there's just a lot of those other
Scream,
series, there might be one made, but it's all out of whack at this point. So.
Oh yeah. No, but I was gonna say that would be the correlation, but no, we're here to give them a show. We're not gonna deliver the piece of shit that was Halloween Resurrection. But we do have for you is another great edition of This or That.
Ooh, yeah.
And this time we drew the category of standalone horror films. Traditionally,
It's a different one.
we've done and not that we won't talk at all about those, because we love our horror slasher franchises and whatnot. But tonight is everything that's basically completely solo, or possibly sequels that we just do not recognize.
Yeah.
So, we, I guess, are you reading first or am I reading first?
Yeah, I think I'm reading first.
Okay.
With this isn't on my list. This is just kind of a sidebar. Have you seen You're Next? Have you ever seen that one?
I don't remember, because I thought that I put it on a list, but I don't remember the movie really at all if I did. It's also possible I watched it not during horror season one year, but I scrolled through my list earlier because I was trying to find good ones to put on here. That maybe I'd missed, and I was like, oh, we should throw this on there.
So I was thinking about that earlier.
Because it had to be stuff we
throwing that
haven't
on
seen.
there.
I also wanted to avoid anything that was solo that was on our This or That from last year's, this time, The Daylight and Dark Part 6, that was talking about the high kind of regarded horror films, because I did list some solos and franchise films within that. So I was like, well, I want to avoid all of those, so I did any of them that were solo, because there probably were 5-ish franchise ones and 5-ish standalones in the high standing ones. Just movies that we respected, things we basically did last year that we both thought on a higher kind of plateau for. Oh, you're reading to me first. Oh shit!
I am reading.
I'm in the hot seat.
Yeah, you're next. That one was kind of fun. I watched that one the other day, and I was like, oh shit! I forgot how fun this one kind of was.
Yeah.
Alright.
When do you think? And this is we're just free floating conversation right now. But when do you? I was thinking about this. I was like, not that we have any like means to end the Daylight in the Dark series, but like, how long do you think we should go with the series before like that was the finale of the Daylight in the Dark? Now it's time for a different.
Should we go to 10
version? I don't know. Maybe. I was thinking about that though. I was like, just, I mean, because it's like it's not like we can't replace it with another idea / vision / octa. You know what I mean? It's crazy we've already made this many. You know, because it went by that like that. But it's cool because you look back and it's got a common theme without or within every part. So fun.
Well,
We'll see, I guess, though. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be bad. I mean,
Yeah.
if we did a 10 and then,
you could potentially do that.
transition to a different kind of series.
If we didn't do 10, we'd have to go for a while again for it to make sense.
It almost
for us
feels
to
like
stop.
we should do at least the 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we didn't do 10, we'd have to do 20, basically. So,
Before the series is
we'd
retired.
XX
Yeah.
at that point. Alright.
I don't know. We're just spitballing.
Horror movie standalones, and your main tonight is going to be Barbarian.
The main? Oh, shit. Okay. I've only seen it once, but I do remember, and I was thinking about watching it this year.
Yeah, I mean, this list,
Hey.
you might pick a handful of them over it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it was a well done movie. This might be
You
a
watched
hot
it this
take.
year first, right?
Yeah, I watched
Okay.
it this year, and then I watched it like earlier on in the list. But
Okay. Yeah, I wanted you to watch it.
it might be kind of a hot take because this dude also did Weapons that just came out. And I feel like a handful of people liked Weapons a little more, and I think it might have been because
Some
I don't
people
know.
said that Weapons was not that serious, is what I had heard.
Yeah, that's kind of what threw me off. Is I might have liked it had I known what I was sort of going into, and it was definitely spooky at times. It had its moments. There were definitely things, but like, and it wasn't like a bad movie. Like it was well done. You know, it was like Josh Brolin was in it. Like there was good actors in it,
Which
but,
he's fucking phenomenal.
yeah. So it's like, it wasn't a bad movie, but it was just like, it wasn't necessarily what I wanted. It was a packed theater that night because it was like the weekend that it came out. And I like saw it in IMAX with Haley, and there was just so a lot of people reacted. So that was like kind of a cool theater experience, but I was like, I think I like Barbarian more. And I don't know, like some people like that. I feel like that's kind of like a 50-50 split with that because
I haven't seen
Weapons is
yet.
sort of like, it's one of the higher regarded horror movies of the year. I feel like, and I don't know. Not that I hated it, but wasn't one of my favorites of the year. I can't say
Barbarian
that.
took you, like, I didn't see it going the way it went at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's.
It was like,
I mean,
it was like, it was.
I think that's
fucking
just
wild.
this guy's style. He's just kind of like,
Yeah.
the way the movie starts out and how it ends, you're like, wow, that's not what I expected out of this, you know?
Yeah.
But Barbarian, dude, Justin Long, again, he's just like the consistent, just, this guy's a dumb motherfucker that's going to
Dude.
get it in a horror movie.
He's great. He's great in horror movies, and I just watched Jeepers Creepers, obviously, like the other day. You know, always love that one.
Yeah, it's classic.
He's great though in like horror stuff for sure.
He's
Tusk
in
was
so
such a
much
weird
stuff.
movie. What the hell did you think of Tusk when we watched that? We started the list that one year with it.
It's I mean, it's a movie. It's
It was a weird movie, wasn't it?
it's not necessarily like one of my faves. I respect it because it is so different. It is kind of like such a out there story, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't like one of my faves or anything by any means. It was interesting. That's one that a lot of people like had apparently a lot of crazy feelings towards. Like, oh my god, like they were scarred when they watched that movie. I'm like, I don't know, like that movie just felt like it was like somewhat goofy, but also like I respect this because it is a little bit goofy and it's taking a wild chance. It's just like, what the fuck kind of story is this?
It's not. It's almost like, I don't know. Like the only reason, like to have rewatched it, and I'm not even sure if that's like a compliment or like a negative necessarily, but it's like because it's so weird to be like, I'm just gonna fucking rewatch this and see what I think of it again. You know what I mean? But it was a strange,
weird
movie. It made you feel
somewhat bad horror movie. So like, you know,
it's Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it was.
We love him. We met him. Fucking like we've seen him multiple. It was so funny. We got what is it called? The food.
Oh yeah, movies.
Yeah, we got movies. We saw him like the Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. We saw, we met him whenever we watched the Clerks, or the Jay and Silent Bob reboot theater. There was something else, too, that we did. I mean, we obviously went to Clerks 3 whenever it came out. We went to the reboot.
Went to the comedy show.
Yeah, you guys did that. That's right.
And, like,
crazy. So many times, like, with stuff with him.
Yeah.
Those movies are so good. I haven't watched some of them. Like, after horror season kind of, like, ceases, I'll probably, like, just watch some random stuff for like a few weeks before like Christmas, you know, kind of begins for me, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just I'll watch some Thanksgiving stuff in there. I'll definitely watch Thanksgiving again this year.
Yeah.
And I'll watch some of the Thanksgiving specials for sure. TV episodes, but
that's
for another day, I suppose.
That's true.
We are in.
But there's also but I was gonna say, but there's also like 2 weeks where you kind of like don't have to.
Yeah,
go with that
kind of do what you want,
dude. Oh my god, we might talk some NFL later, but there's just so many like, if Joe Burrow were there, it'd be better. But like the games for Thanksgiving are gonna be unbelievable. Like they're gonna be sick. Anyway, we haven't done the first one yet, have we?
We have not.
Oh shit, Barbarian.
Barbarian. First up, you got Barbarian, and probably another one you've only seen once, but. The Babadook.
Barbarian.
Yeah. See, I kind of feel the same way. Like, I enjoyed The Babadook in ways, but it was one of those, like, grief horror movies. Bring Her Back, that I just watched the other day, was sort of the same way. It was, like, grief horror. But it was way more fucked up. But,
yeah.
The Babadook was like, it was frightening in moments, and then when the Babadook kind of like was realized and actually was seen, it was like, oh, this is sort of goofy.
Yeah,
you know, it was
that's the way I kind of felt. I was like,
I didn't think it was a bad movie. I still thought it was like a decent, well done movie.
I do not think it should be some sort recognized. I'm not saying it is. Like, of course, Jenna Ortega's like Tara character made a reference to it in Scream 5. But like,
I mean, some people really like it for sure.
But regarding it in any way as some theoretical game changer of today's horror is fucking absurd. Because it wasn't that.
I mean, you can be a fan of it and enjoy it, but it's not.
Understand that?
Yeah, it didn't necessarily open you like it was.
No.
It for what it was, I will give it credit though, because it didn't really like. It was a low budget. It didn't have a lot of actual things that happened, and it still had a frightening feel. Like it still had that like ooh, like
it was creepy. It was
something's gonna happen. Like it did its job. It served its purpose, and it was well made. But it wasn't like a generational dynamic necessarily like, oh, this is going to be.
It's not this generation.
It can be one of your favorites,
Lambs,
but
that.
yeah, it's not going to be.
It isn't fucking a fourth of that.
Well, it was more like a ghost story, if anything,
Yeah.
but it was like. Then when it turned out that it was just like, oh, it was actually just these people's grief. It was the ghost, and they just had to like face their shit to reconnect as mother and son.
Yeah, I just think there are better, even in today's horror, there are better examples of films that have sort of shifted the climate than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can definitely point to.
Alright, so you're taking Barbarian.
I think like Get Out is one of those movies. You know what I mean? That kind of and like it sucks because you like it's not like I just still think that's definitely the best film Jordan Peele's had, or like either directed or really been in some sort of you know, like producer position or a writer like kind of role. I still think that's his best. Like I still think that was better than, and he only wrote, and I don't know if he produced, but he wrote for Candyman, but he didn't direct it, the sequel. It was good, was not Get Out. Us wasn't Get Out. Nope wasn't as good as Get Out. Him wasn't Get Out, you know. And I've watched that almost pretty much close to every year, I think, since like the first year we watched it. And, you know, I always like, that's the one I like try to get to because, I mean, I thought it was fucking awesome, but yeah.
It was,
oh yeah, you know, there's just been some that, The Conjuring I feel like was a game changer too. Yeah. And it kind of came out alongside Sinister. And
it was
that,
like
and that ushered,
frightening.
Sinister and The Conjuring ushered in a new era of horror.
Yeah, like I feel like that's the thing, like there were other movies, like The Haunting in Connecticut, for example, was a movie that I felt like came out before those that was very frightening as well and didn't necessarily get the ground or the credibility that those movies got, but like those movies were the ones that kind of transcended, and they also, like The Conjuring launched a whole universe. That's a whole other thing. I don't know what, shouldn't have done all that shit necessarily, but like...
Oh, the Conjuring movies were all pretty good.
Yeah, but
like... Annabelle, like, the third Annabelle wasn't great, but it wasn't...
It's one of those things where, like, if you would have just did one and left it, you could have been like...
I don't know if they all needed to be the
The Exorcist. You could have been like
done
this
that
generation's
universe.
like this movie.
Yeah. You could have done that universe without doing all of them like you know what I'm saying, like make them kind of separate stories in themselves rather than be like sequels and all that.
And The Conjuring 2 was good.
It was. No, it was.
Like,
3 and 4 were really good, I thought. Regardless, and
3 was okay.
What was?
3 was okay.
I thought 3 was pretty good. I mean, we did watch it on, I guess, whenever it came out. Like, yeah, but they've all been pretty solid. The Nuns were not bad. The first 2 Annabelles were pretty good. The third one was decent. None of them have been bad movies.
I thought the first Annabelle was meh. I don't know if I've seen 2. Was that Comes Home?
Oh, you can describe what you think of it better than Matt.
That's the thing though. I've seen it like 2 or 3
I don't
times.
mean better as in like you think it's better than that. I mean you can.
I just
criticize it better than that. What did you?
I don't know. I think because I also the first time that I saw it, I had the knowledge in my head. Oh, this is continuing kind of like the Conjuring universe story. So it was like Conjuring standards a little bit, and it just wasn't that. And then I think I did see the second Annabelle even, and I was like, this is like better than the first one.
I didn't think either the first, because I thought easily the third was the weakest.
Which one was 2? Was that Comes Home, or was that 3?
I think that was 3.
I don't even remember.
I forget what the subtitle was of 2 yet. Anyway.
Annabelle series. Now
this is the segment's gonna take. Oh,
Annabelle.
What were we on?
It was Annabelle Creation, and Annabelle Comes Home.
Okay.
See, yeah, I thought both of those were probably better than the first one.
honestly, like looking back, I really think the first one is better than the third one for sure. I think it probably went like 2, 1, 3. And 3 wasn't even that bad. It was just okay. But none of those, including the 2 nuns, none of those were like as good as the first Conjuring.
Yeah, the first Conjuring's definitely the movie.
That's one of the best
that series.
21st century horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no doubt about it.
But it is one of those movies where it's like it leaves such an imprint on you, but it loses that feeling the more times you watch it if you watch it year after year. I've had to give it a break.
I only watched Last Rites this year, and I'm not going to watch any Conjuring because we did watch them in the last like 3 years. But before that, we didn't watch them for like 5 years.
Yeah, I watched. I think last year I watched the Conjurings and the Insidious, like at least 3 of the Insidious movies.
I did watch
it's been
Last
a while.
Rites. I wanted to put some things in theaters that we saw on my list as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I saw Last Rites, but I was like, I'm not, because I hadn't seen any of them in theaters since the first one, and we did go see the first one back in like high school. I was like maybe a summer though. But yeah, Conjuring was sick.
It was.
So was that one Barbarian?
Barbarian over the Babadook.
Yeah, that's easy.
All right, next up we got Barbarian or The Menu.
Did you see The Menu?
I have.
Oh, you did finally see
Me
it.
and Haley watched it this year, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna actually, because Jason fucking loves The Menu. He's like, oh man, yeah, no, he's a fan of it and everything. And I only watched it maybe a year or 2 ago. But yeah, I thought that was a different idea for sure. And then that was the weirdest shit.
It's like that
one
chef.
cheeseburger.
And she got.
And I
she
know you
got
liked
out.
her,
Oh yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah. Yeah, that was a.
And she got out because
that
of
was a movie though. Like for sure credit for that idea, you know. I think I'm gonna go with Barbarian
Holt, though,
by
too.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I think her and Nicholas Holt too, though, are both just like really good actors. So like that just felt like, and what was it? Ralph Fiennes was the cook, I think. Like they're
Was
all
he?
good.
He was Hades in the Clash in Wrath of the Titans movies too.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Voldemort.
Yeah, they're just all good like actors.
Yeah,
So it's
for
it's
sure.
going to be a good.
That made
movie.
you feel like that was such a unique movie.
Yeah.
The Menu, yeah.
It was definitely a different kind of movie. But yeah, I think Barbarian is definitely more horrific.
Yeah.
For
Bill,
sure.
Another one, Bill Skarsgård, another movie that he was in.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in a lot of shit now.
Just that guy, the shit he was doing in that house initially that led to all that shit, it's just like, Jesus, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker. And it was Richard Brake. Of course it was.
Yeah.
That's just the motherfucking sleazeball in like every Rob Zombie movie. Richard fucking Brake. He just has the face, like, just that. This guy is a son of a bitch.
I think I know. Was it the guy that fucking Carl in like the Halloween 2?
The guy that was like talking about the corpse, yeah, and then
Corpse fucking or whatever.
yeah, and then he got his head sawed off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, for sure. Okay.
He played. I think my favorite role that he ever was in though was 31 because he played like what was the name? Death Head, I think was his name, and he was just like this killer clown that was just a son of a bitch.
Halloween 2, he's just like, yeah. He's like, I ain't never had the urge till tonight. It's like, oh my god. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
talking
that guy's a crazy. He's like always.
And dude, the other guy, the other cop that was in the car with him when he was saying that shit was
this dude.
Unzer or something. Maybe it was his name was Unzer.
This
He was like the cop in Sons of Anarchy that was like kind of like letting them do some of the shit that they would do and like had a kind of contentious but like good relationship with them, you know.
Yeah.
Because like the Sons of Anarchy would like just do illegal things, but like they'd have to be covered in like some of the stuff that they were doing, and like he was that good cop, like at least to them. But like it's kind of funny because Rob put both of them in the car together, like whenever they did hit the cow, and then Michael found him, and Unzer fucking died. I forget if his name was. I can't even remember, man. It was like Unzer or Unzert, something like that. But he was like the cop in Sons of Anarchy. He was a likable character, though. Some of those characters were not.
Usually, a lot of really good shows have some pretty unlikable characters.
Yeah. But you have to have a good dynamic, people that you and people that are just so complex that sometimes you agree with them, and sometimes you're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like Walter White was obviously like that.
So you take Barbarian over the Menu.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
All
the
right.
Menu.
Next up, Barbarian's on a run.
Props for originality though for that one.
We got Barbarian or Ready or Not.
Interesting. They both like definitely had an impact on me upon like first viewing, and like I remember like watching that earlier and being like, oh man, yeah, you'll like that one. I told you to watch that one. We'll get to Villains, like obviously with the movie review. But there's just been some good ones. I definitely think like on my list this year, I've hit on even more. I've introduced more new movies even than last year, but I also think I've hit on more because some of them from last year, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that again. But there's only been like probably at least 2 this year that I've felt that way about.
Yeah, I've had some pretty good first watches this year.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's fun. It's really
Some
fun.
new movies
That is really
just came out.
what August and like at least the first half of the list in September feels like is introduce almost entirely new movies.
Yeah.
Maybe you mix some other stuff in there, but like just get to some stuff maybe that you're either curious to watch, found upon search, and just you stumble upon it, and stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
And like that's just kind of what comes natural. Because like at first I just started scrolling on streaming services, and I'm like, well, what the hell sounds good? Do your research on like some of the reviews, whatnot. Don't take everything with that, but like we discussed off air maybe last week or on, I forget. It kind of if like it's a high audience and low critic, whatever, like I'm like, okay, that's definitely still worth giving a shot because they might be wrong. Maybe like one of the ones that the critics are high on but the audience is mid on. You give certain things a chance but you like want to see some good results overall. Not that I base everything off of anyone else's like per se reviews, but because if it's a concept you're interested in, you're going to watch it regardless. But it's not reassuring ever if the critic and audiences is like low as fuck. Because then I'll just be like, yeah, I'm not wasting my time with that. You know what I mean? With certain things. Unless it's something I am really like, no, I'm watching that because it's got an actor you like or a director you like. But anyway. So this was Ready or Not or Barbarian.
That it was. That it was.
That's tough. That's a tough one. I like how you're going more like current, at least at the first part of this list, because I think, not that I went like really old necessarily, but I did go.
Mine is pretty current.
From a little back. Not like old, but maybe some of them. But some of them are definitely movies we've seen together that are standalone pictures. I don't know. They both had about the same impact on me, but not like maybe the same way. You know what I mean? Like Ready or Not, you were just kind of like chilling, like whenever she, Samara Weaving, like came out, like I told you, like she like smoked that cigarette, and, like went through all that shit. I was like, that just had such a funny, kind of like, all right, it's time to smoke a joint kind of feel at the end of it. Whereas like Barbarian, you're just like, Jesus Christ, that turned into a shit show. I don't know. It was like but they were like
But
different
dude,
ways too.
I love like a creature feature too.
Mhm.
So I love how like
I know.
Barbarian had the monster in it.
And I do, and
And then,
see,
like, she was a sentimental monster. She ended
I
up
agree.
being kind of like
It did-
you felt bad for her. in the end.
initially it did make me want to feel like I'm gonna favor Barbarian. I actually not watched that again this year, and I probably should because I liked it enough. And you know, you don't always incorporate things from last year, but I always want to incorporate some from our beloved series for sure, if not like a lot of them, you know, because they make it feel like it. You know what I mean? They make it feel like what it is. October, like you know what I mean, like the slashers and whatnot too. But like I want to introduce new stuff too, and I just put a few new things on there as well. Yeah, I might lean at least slight. This one's the closest one, I'll note, but I'd probably give it to Barbarian by a little bit.
All right.
Ready or Not was one of my stuck in my mind new movies I watched this year though.
I was enjoying the ride, but this is the thing with a lot of like horror movies especially. I'm enjoying the ride and I'm like, okay, this could be one that I end up really enjoying and it becomes like a favorite if they stick the landing. And like they don't a lot of the times. And that's something
Did you not feel like they did in Ready or Not?
I feel like in Ready or Not they did.
Okay.
And that's the thing, like, that was one of the movies where I was like, I'm glad that they actually went for it in the end, and they just went balls to the wall, like, oh, these people just fucking exploded and this curse was real. You know what I mean? Like, because, like, the whole time it was kind of like, is this all bullshit? You know what I mean? Like, they kind of were leaning you on that edge of, this family might just be fucking nuts, and they're like Satanists, and they just think some bullshit's gonna happen.
They definitely seem, and of course she landed on that card and everything, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna play the game." I mean, otherwise you don't have a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. And
I know, it's like,
the whole movie's them just chilling.
but you do in your head, even if you're watching it, if it's a good movie, at least you're hoping you're like, oh, maybe they'll pull checkers.
But see,
Yeah.
I told you, and I wasn't taking anything away from the babysitter when I saw it, but I saw that first, and then I watched Ready or Not like 5 or 6 movies later, whatever. And I'm like, and that's what I told you. I remember telling I'm like the babysitter was good, but Ready or Not just like it hit it more out of the park. I felt like, you know what I mean? Just because from beginning to end, and like it ending the way it ended, it was good. Like I really like that one. It's kind of surprising to me because that and Villains have been out since 2019, and I've never watched either one until this year.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
Villains was a new one for you too, huh?
yeah, well, yeah, this year that and Ready or Not, the babysitter. I watched all those this year.
Yeah, she was also in this movie that came out last year that was horror.
Dude, and
Samara
like,
Weaving up Azrael. That was like a demonic cult movie. And there was like hardly any talking. Like I don't even know if she spoke but like a few words in the entire movie.
yeah.
It was strange. I watched that like the end of the year last year when I was just trying to like wrap up things for my blog and try to come up with a list of like my favorite horror movies of the year, just compiled. I'm like, I watched that one and I was like, I mean that was different, but like that was one that I don't know if I'll watch a whole lot again because it's just like,
Which one was it?
it's called Azrael and it was Samara Weaving was the lead in it as well, and it was just like,
She's good in most stuff I've seen of her.
yeah, she's definitely like a modern day scream queen. She's in a lot of new horror movies and they're generally pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
But you'd still take Barbarian, you would say.
Yeah, probably by a little bit.
All
That
right.
one's the closest one so far.
So it's up 3-0. Up next we got Barbarian, or we got The Lords of Salem.
Oh, Barbarian. I mean, I haven't watched. That was so quick. I haven't watched The Lords of Salem in some years, but it's just like. So many of these movies, like, it's just funny because me and you have showed each other.
Barbarian's just whooping the ass, dude.
Me and you have showed each other so many movies too. Like, I hadn't seen really any of the Chuckies until you showed me them. Any of beyond like maybe one or two or like the first or third Rocky before you showed me those.
So the movie swap segment, I guess, is kind of good.
No, I know, and I know I've showed you like a lot of these different, some of these remakes. The Conjuring, that was like the first. If you ever want to say like when the list started, and like I guess you didn't really make one for like the next year or two, whatever. But we, I was like I'm just gonna start making a list of stuff that I want to watch because like we started hanging out 10 years ago, and we would just like binge horror movies and stuff like that. The very first one, just for whatever reason, I was like, "You never seen The Conjuring?" And I was like, "We should watch this." And that was like very first on the very first list I ever made. And it was just because I was like, I just want to see how many I could come up with, And then it kind of took its own fucking life. And like now I've got people like literally making lists every year. But I'm like, you need to show me them because I want to see what the hell you watch, But like, there's people at work. There's people, I've like told Cody, I'm like, just kind of like show you, kind of been like watching.
Yeah.
Just because like it's interesting,
And I was thinking once I get to the last week of October, I'll probably post my list on like the blog and stuff. I guess we could post our list on the podcast page too. Kind of just Halloween week celebration or something.
What were you saying though, right before that?
Oh, I don't know. What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, no, the Lords of Salem. Yeah, so we started like watching all that stuff, but like I remember us watching that, and that just, I don't know, like that's just not. I like, to be honest, I like House of Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, both Halloweens, all more than Lords of Salem.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because like, of all the ones I've seen of his,
for sure, those are his best movies.
Yeah, those would, but those like, and that's what you just. I was gonna say that those would all come before Lords of Salem, wouldn't they?
Yeah, those are. That's. I mean, but those are better than Lords of Salem. They're better than 31. They're better than the Monsters.
Yeah.
It's like it's better than all those other movies. It's better than Haunted World of El Super Beast. Still, I watched that this year.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah, it's got like cartoon titties in it.
It's just like, dude, it's the most one of the funniest damn things in the whole movie though that killed me is like there's this scene where this werewolf like he's in a bar like getting drunk and he's like macking on this girl because that's basically the entire movie's macking on some girl and like. This werewolf dude comes up and he like squeezes on this girl's ass. Freaking. He like turns around and he's like, "What are you up to, buddy?" And he like grabs him by the neck and he's like beats the shit out of him. And then they're like, "Watch out, man, you're gonna kill him." They're like, "Oh, he's a werewolf. It'll be fine. As long as if it's not silver, he's not gonna die." And he like looks at his knuckles and he just got like, it like zooms in on him and it just says like silver knuckles and it was like an auction plate and he's like, "Oh Jesus."
I want to say I watched like most of that like Harry's way back when, like years and years ago.
Yeah, it's like
it was
adult.
absurd.
It's like a long form Adult Swim cartoon.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, it literally looked like if like Drawn Together was a horror movie. That old show way back when. I think that was what it was called, Drawn Together.
It's like there was Michael Myers popped up in there. There's like all the Universal monsters popped up.
Because it was like explicit, like adult animation.
Yeah.
It's like
for sure.
So it's like that's what it was.
It was adapted from apparently a comic book he did though, first, but yeah, that was absurd.
What was this one?
It was The Lords of Salem, and you took Barbarian.
Yeah. Lords of Salem is not one I try to make a point. I have it on Steelbook for some reason. I mean, I wasn't trying to find it. I was just like, oh, what's that?
I never seen maybe it stood a chance up in here. I didn't know.
No, I know.
Well, Barbarian is cleaning the slate. This one is one that I feel like I might actually like, potentially a little more than you.
Ready or Not was close to Barbarian.
But we'll see how it bodes, but this one is one of the newer ones that is grown to be one that I quite enjoy. But Barbarian or It Follows.
I like the premise and the idea of It Follows. Like, I think it was
It's definitely original.
really similar. Like when we did the movie reviews and we talked about When Evil Lurks, it was almost like that same thing. Like it was death, but just in another way. You know, it would just transfer to like the next person to do something.
We just
And like being
slowly follow you and find you.
No, I didn't dislike It Follows at all. Like, I mean, it was fine. I didn't have anything bad about it.
A few moments and scenes from It Follows. Like, there was the moment whenever she's in her room and she's like having a panic attack and her friends knock on the door and they're like, "Can we come in?" And she's like, she lets her one friend in and her friend opens the door and she's like, "Are you okay?" And there's the fucking monster is directly behind her friend, and it was the one that like had no eyes and a hollowed out mouth, and it just like creeps in the doorway, and she's the only one that can see it. Like, that moment was shockingly terrifying. And then it's like it's one of the moments within modern horror movies that I'm like, that was like genuinely like a holy shit.
I remember it being pretty fucking creepy.
Just in moments,
it's
really
pretty
creepy.
It's pretty even though, because I've only seen Barbarian one time last year,
and it's also really well done.
And a lot of these other movies, Lords of Salem aside, I've only seen once, and that I've seen like 3 times. Or 4, something like that. Me and you watched it at least a couple of times. One year I started our shitty like 2016-17 lists. I think I started 2016 list off with it. With me and Stevens watched it in Florida, and he didn't know what the fuck to think of it. He was like, I don't remember it being that fucking just kind of rough, to be honest. Until I watched it the time, I was like, I swear it wasn't that fucking. What the fuck is going on? And then he didn't want to say it was good or anything either. He was like, yeah, it was. I don't know. Like, I don't even know how he reacted, but he definitely reacted like in question of what the fuck was that. Because I was like, yeah. To me, whatever we were doing in 2015, and we're like, yeah, I'll just buy this and we'll just watch these Screams and the Nightmares Fridays and all this, The Conjuring. I guess, like, I don't know if I just watched it the first time, I didn't pay that much attention, but, like, whenever me and him watched it down in Florida in 2016, I was thinking that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, it's not, and it's definitely not one of his better movies.
No.
That being said, and I say this a lot, like it's a flex, probably not the worst movie I've ever seen.
No.
I don't know what is.
I kept saying that too during what was it, Cody and Jason's.
Oh,
where
yeah.
Jason pointed out, he's like, you kept saying that. Just like, well, it could have been worse.
He's like, whenever I said that I took Halloween 6 over 4 and 5, he's like, I don't know, he's called me crazy or insane or whatever, but I was like, no, like, he did put 5 down, but I think he thinks 4. People think 4 is better than it is. It's not good.
See, I watched 5 again, and I'm like,
5 was terrible.
5 was bad. I might like 5 more than 4.
Really? I did think 4 was probably better than 5, but 5 was rough.
At least 5 had some fun. Shit.
Oh, that was 4 so stupid.
4 ended like some bullshit. At least 5 had some cool kills.
Yep.
People can say, oh, Michael didn't use the butcher knife. So what? He fucking used farm tools and it was cool. He used a fucking scythe. He used a pitchfork. That shit was kind of neat.
Okay, but that shit where she's like, Uncle, and then they show that teardrop. That was the dumbest shit I've ever
You gotta
fucking
hold the
seen.
movie down for 4
That
seconds
was
of the movie?
fucking dumb as fuck.
Come on.
was terrible.
Was Uncle worse than Jamie fucking stabbing up
4 and
her
5?
foster mom at the end of 4, and that's how it ended?
4 and 5 were pretty bad.
4 was a pile of shit. And I know that might be a hot take.
4, 5, 3 Resurrection and Ends are at the bottom 5 of my list. Out of the whole thing. There's no question. And Kills was not perfect, but it definitely was above all those motherfuckers. Including 3. Kills, the only thing I had trouble with whenever I was...
3 again.
And I know whenever Gene was on the first time, we were trying to like rate all the Halloweens and like what all our lists were too. But the one of the hardest things is like trying to debate Kills or Halloween 2 Rob Zombie version. But ultimately, I think I took Kills over Zombie's second one by a little bit. But Kills was like 6th, I think, all time. And then H2O, and then either Zombies or 2018. And then 2 and 1. But either way, and I kind of go back and forth, but those are always the top 4. So that would put H2O no better than 5th, but probably at least 5th. So
Yeah, H2O is a good one. It's got its flaws, but it's a good one.
yeah. What were we on?
You took... Oh, it was It Follows, actually, or Barbarian.
Yeah, I'm going to take Barbarian by that one a little bit too.
Alright.
But that, same thing, only saw that one time.
Yep. Well, Barbarian is running the gambit here. It's up 5 zilch. Next up,
Making it look like it's...
we got Barbarian or we got Cabin in the Woods.
Ooh. I'm going to say... The Cabin in the Woods, probably by a little bit.
Yeah, the Cabin in the Woods was it was another one that was very like original and meta,
Yeah.
and like, but also at the same time still a horror movie. Like they still were able to keep it a
Yeah.
horror movie while being what they were.
It might have more staying power than Barbarian. Might.
Yeah, they both got they both got rewatchability for sure.
Oh yeah,
But-
well, to us, I mean, we rewatch stuff like isn't necessarily our favorite, but like stuff we really be willing to rewatch too.
Yeah.
But they're both good. I mean, I haven't seen Barbarian again, but the Cabin in the Woods hasn't even been on my horror list in like at least 2 or 3 years. So,
Yeah, I haven't seen
but
it.
it was
the
always
second
classic.
either.
We watched it there for like every year for like a few at least.
Yeah, I've seen it a handful of times for
Yeah.
sure.
The first time we saw that was together, I'm pretty sure as well. Because we started both buying like a shitload of horror movies.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, all the screams,
Mm-hmm.
good times.
Those are good ones. Those were influential molding movies for my
Yeah.
horror fandom.
Me too.
So it's like that's why I like H2O. That's why I like Urban Legend and The Faculty and like certain movies that just kind of feel like Scream that are just sort of in that era. I'm like, oh, this is that late '90s like horror movie feel. Like I just settle into those movies a lot of times, even
Yeah.
if they're not always the best. Just like that, like '96 through like '99 horror movies just have, especially slashers, just have that certain feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were good. All right.
But Barbarian over It Follows, and you took and it was Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
So one is on the board.
A little
against
more
Barbarian.
familiarity too with that one.
1 and 5 in favor of Barbarian.
All right.
Next up, we got Barbarian or we got Krampus.
Barbarian.
Dude, I love Krampus.
I wanted
I just feel like for a
Krampus to
Christmas
be
horror
better than it
film,
was to me, personally. Like, I didn't think it was like horrible, but I was kind of like I feel like I waited too long, and then the hype was too there for what what I'm saying.
Mhm.
For like whenever I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it.
I really enjoyed Krampus, but yeah, I can see why people wouldn't like it at the same time. Like, I wouldn't be like upset if somebody's like, yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
No, I didn't hate it, and like that doesn't mean that I wouldn't be willing to rewatch it.
It definitely is sort of a horror comedy, but it's very seasonal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Barbarian too.
Alright, so 6-1 Barbarian. Next
Man.
up, Barbarian or Us?
Man, yeah, that's a tough one too. Us was like a good.
I liked Us was really well done too.
I liked pretty much all of the Jordan Peele like affiliated stuff. I mean, all of it doesn't rank the same, but I think none of it was none of it to me was like garbage. I just think some of them people are still questioning. They're like they don't know what he was, what was going on with him and Nope, stuff like that.
Well, at least you can say him. He didn't direct and write.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. No, not him. Nope. I didn't think Nope was bad by any means, though. Honestly, it was just a different concept.
Yeah, I didn't think Nope was horrible. I didn't
know.
It was like an alien. It was like a UFO, but like if the UFO itself was the creature.
Mm-hmm. I think especially for familiarity reasons, I'm gonna say Us.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Us was actually really good as well.
Yeah, I liked it.
Like, the concept was really good too. Like, oh, there's an underneath, like your shadow is actually like another being. It's like the underneath world, kind of like your reflection. It's kind of cool. It's an original, like, kind of neat horror concept,
Yeah.
All right. So 6-2, Barbarian. Next up, we got Barbarian or Midsommar.
Yeah, that was a weird movie when we watched that.
Another Ari Aster.
Yeah, that was like definitely a profound, like, what the fuck is going on here movie.
That mushroom trip scene though felt like a mushroom trip. That was like,
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was like, that was like intense.
Yeah, no, it was. It for sure was. That was a profound impact in some ways.
The way that movie started though was so heavy.
Rewatched it in any recent years?
I haven't watched it in a few years, I'll say. I probably haven't seen it since like 2022.
Because you probably only watched it like what, a couple of times?
Yeah, 2 or 3 times probably.
Yeah. We watched it one of those 2019 maybe.
I've watched it by myself. I've watched it with you guys. And
because we all watched it together, me and you
and I think
Corey.
I put it on a list the year after.
Yeah, and I think I watched it again too. Oh man,
the May Queen. Put her in all those flowers.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That was just that was a strange fucking movie too.
They put like that girl's like her like menstrual bleed in that dude's drink, and they're like, "Oh, she chose you." And then like, dude, remember that scene too when he like they took him into that shack, and he's like making love, but like all these women are around. Because they like had to be there because it was like her first experience or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So they're all like moaning with her at the same time. I'd be immediately like, I'm out. I'm not sticking around for this weird shit. You guys are gonna chop my head off or make me part of this.
That movie went crazy. The start off of the movie was insane with the whole, killing and shit. And
that's what I mean. It was heavy at the beginning.
It was for sure.
But once they got to that, like,
I don't know,
that camp, it turned into like almost like The Wicker Man. If you've ever seen that movie, it almost felt like cult horror once they got to that camp.
I might slightly give the edge to Midsommar.
Yeah.
But that's also because I'm a little more familiar with it, maybe.
I think both movies.
But they were both really well done. They're both something. This is what I'll also say. That's credible is that I would absolutely rewatch either one of them.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say. They're both movies that like were done. They're original works that kind of like didn't have a lot of buzz, and then they came out and they caught everybody off guard, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, these are wild."
Barbarian threw everybody the fuck off.
And Midsommar too had a few of those scenes, like the old people like just falling off the cliff and
then
shit.
just their face is breaking open,
or just falling on their legs.
Yeah,
you know, those compound fractures and shit. There's just wild shit.
No, it's like if I jump off that thing, I better be.
Yeah, you better go head first, you dumb son of a bitch. What are you jumping foot first? Oh, that ain't gonna kill your ass, dude.
No, that's fucking bad.
All right, so you take Barbarian over Midsommar. Oh, you took Midsommar.
Yeah.
Midsommar over Barbarian.
Yeah.
All right.
A little bit. That one's not.
So 6-3. It's getting closer.
3.
Yeah, you took Cabin in the Woods, Us,
okay,
and Midsommar.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up,
they have a little bit of equity.
is Barbarian, or this one's kind of an anthology, but so there's multiple stories, but it still counts because. But Barbarian or Trick or Treat.
Probably Trick or Treat. And I have a little bit of like, you know, from that era, because like the first time I saw it was 10 years ago in my like film class, the same time I saw Donnie Darko, the same time I saw Idiocracy, and you know what I mean, like stuff like that. And like that was also the fall that we like started hanging out and like watching all these horror movies. And I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, it definitely sat with me. Oh yeah, and I know one time we watched that Compliance movie. That was a little with the whole.
Oh yeah, that was strange.
Yeah, it made you feel weird too.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh man, because it was so fixated on like what he was telling them to do, and it just all took place mostly within this like restaurant setting or like fast food place.
Yeah.
What was this one?
It's Trick or Treat.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably take Trick or Treat. But yeah, that was the first time I saw Trick or Treat too, because like I think that was one of the best done anthology, and perfect too for like Halloween, you know. Yeah. The anthology films, but that came back into theaters. I know Jason and Cody were talking about going to see it, which I think they did. For like select dates and everything. I might go see like a Christmas movie this year. They came back into theaters too.
I've always.
I was thinking about seeing like Elf or the Grinch in theaters in December, whenever they come back.
Yeah, I thought about doing that in the past with like.
Because we've done that this
year. Even with like my family,
lot.
with like Christmas Vacation or Christmas Story, because I grew up watching that with my parents a lot. I was like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
To go back and watch one of those again, or like
in like at the theater, yeah.
Oh yeah, like to see Elf, because I saw Elf. When
I saw it
originally.
Me too. Out. Me and Corey did.
And Grinch. I saw Grinch when it came out too, actually. So.
Dude, I had Grinch like action figures and shit in like 2000, like 01, like literally, just him and like decked in the suit and shit that he wore, like when he was trying to go on the town and fuck around in Whoville.
Yeah.
I would love. I'm like thinking that. I'm like, man, it would be so nice. Even to go in like just, you know, feeling good, being like, oh man, I'm just go in your like pajamas during the fucking winter time or whatever, like during December, and just you know watch the Grinch with Elf. Sounds like a great time.
It'd be a good time.
I was thinking about it because I'm like, they're coming back, and like this has been the year where we've started seeing a bunch of the throwback movies in theaters too. So I'm like, man, I might go see a Christmas movie because it just sounds like it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about it, but it will all be decided here soon.
In the coming months.
Yeah, within the
season now. It's all coming.
Well, soon. We're not rushing Halloween.
No. But I mean, we're within the bubble here.
Yeah.
Of all this shit.
Yeah. It feels like I've always said it feels like October caps off like all of the years so far, and then like November and December are almost their own thing entirely, like leading on, you know what I'm saying, like, and then it's just like, all right, time for the new year, because it's like October is so, you know, just builds and builds and builds, and like the first part of the year is not too much other than like football, and then, you know, shit starts going. What was it, the last one we were on?
That that was it. Trick or Treat, you picked it. So it was 6-4 was the finish.
So it was in favor of Barbarian.
Barbarian. Yes.
Okay, so those are pretty respectable ones that won out.
Yeah. Can we?
Alrighty, well, it is time for my reading of the old this or that.
That it is.
And so, you know what you're going to get as your main? I actually do. And look at this. Oh, this is fun. This is going to be a good one.
What do we got?
We were talking about showing each other a bunch of movies, and I know that I showed you this one. Don't know when the last time you watched it, but I know you've seen it a few times. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Yeah, I thought about putting that on your list at somewhere within it, but yeah, that's one that I don't know if everybody listening or watching's even seen or heard of.
I know we showed Aaron it at one time.
Yeah, it's an interesting movie.
Yeah,
for sure. It's like it's kind of a play on all the slashers, and all the slashers exist within the universe. I know we've talked about it on here before.
And while being like a sort of a documentary within,
it's like a mockumentary film.
Yeah,
it's like like a mockumentary horror. It's pretty funny.
All right, don't you have it?
Yeah, I got it on DVD.
Yeah. Hell, yeah, see, look at that. It meant something. You went and go picked it up after we watched this. At some point, we went to V-Stock probably. Definitely, right?
Yeah. Pretty sure that's what I found.
Alrighty, well, we've got Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, or The Cabin in the Woods. We watched that for the first time together.
Yeah.
Neither one of us had seen that.
Oof. That's actually kind of tougher than I expected, because, like, they're both really original feeling in their own ways. Like, that's the thing, like, Behind the Mask is very tropey, but intentionally.
Yeah.
And, they even got Robert Englund in there. He's, like, a good guy.
Scott Wilson, too.
Yeah.
In Cold Blood.
So, I don't know. But yeah, Cabin in the Woods was like the cabin horror movie.
They had encapsulated all of the horror cliches, monsters, creatures, villains, slashers, all that stuff, zombie, all that kind of stuff, into like one. But like it was such an original story while kind of encapsulating everything and the horror cliches of what the normal group is, like a stoner, the pretty girl, the jock, the this and that. It's just like. And it plays on all the cliches, especially from like the old days.
It's like the final girl, the easy girl, the stoner, the jock, the out of place nice guy,
the pathetic nice guy. A lot of times it's that they're just like like they're horrible at flirting, but they're like a really nice guy. Oh shit!
I think I'm gonna give the edge. Slightly. Not Adam Copeland. To Behind the Mask.
I thought you were going to say the opposite. For a second I was like, oh. And so that's the first one. Alright, well. Alrighty, well next up is going to be Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, or Shaun of the Dead.
They're both kind of like silly, like mock films in ways.
Yeah.
But they play on different subgenres, like zombies, slashers. I'm probably going to give the edge to Shaun of the Dead on that one.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, man, most of this, what I had on this list, I was trying to make it, I was like, I can't make Shaun of the Dead the main, because I don't know how much you'll take it over or whatever, but like, I know you do like it a lot. And I was like, I can't make it, I was like, I can't make it
It's been a little bit since I've seen Shaun of the Dead even, but... Yeah, that's another one that's like, it's just silly. It's like,
but it's like it was one of the few,
one of the best parodies.
Really, exceptional.
Yeah.
Parody sort of, exactly.
Just,
satirical
like
kind of films like
parody
that.
Film
Exactly, and like it was one of the best ever that were done that way. It really was. Like it was like, man, they nailed the art of the parody, of like the mock, of like the impersonation, like sort of like just kind of its own thing.
Yeah, and they're good at that. Like Nick Frost and
Oh, yeah.
Simon Pegg, they released a few like pretty good movies, but that's probably their standout for me.
As far as like what that was, like the genre for like, you know, parodying what it did, it was like a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like it was like the best, like it was maybe the best one, you know? Unlike some of the shitty like fucking mock movies that are, you know what I mean, that we talked about in like recent podcasts. Like not that some of the scary movies weren't bad, but like Disaster Movie and Epic Movie and all
Oh,
this,
yeah.
where they just thought it was funny. It's like this
Well,
shit.
the first-
It's like the difference between you making fun of it and it actually like say they made fun of Scream and like some of the other stuff. It's just like those are gonna stand this test of time. After a year, nobody's gonna give a fuck about this movie making fun of this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I've seen like the first couple scary movies.
Scary
in a
movie
long time,
was a little better than what came after.
but I haven't seen like I don't think I've ever seen like 3 or 4, or is there more than that?
There's 5. Mac Miller was in the 5th one, and it
Yeah, I
came out in
haven't
like
seen any of
2013 or 11 or something like that.
I saw Epic
I never
Movie,
saw
I
it,
think
though.
once.
I saw Epic Movie at least once or twice. So I might have saw Disaster
Superhero
movie.
movie?
Once
Did you ever see Superhero
or-
movie?
No.
Drake Bell.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was in that.
But that wasn't really like make it fun type thing, was it? Wasn't it?
I think it was kind of
thing?
mocking superheroes, but it was like
But it was kind of a superhero
doing
movie
it.
still.
Yeah, it was a superhero movie.
So you said Behind the Mask over Cabin in the Woods, and then you took Shaun of the Dead over
Yeah.
Behind the Mask. All right. Well, next up, one that we both love, Behind the Mask or Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands. I would say, you know, obviously Behind the Mask is more probably in the horror traditional category, even though it in itself mocks it. But like, Tim Burton is just, he's got like dark storytelling, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Edward Scissorhands is like one of my favorites of his anyways.
That was one of the best, like, where he was so dark and like different, you know, whatnot. But like, it was one of the best, like, sort of empathetic stories to where you were like, oh man, like at the end of it, you're like, what the fuck, like this whole thing corrupted him, and now he's never gonna come back down. He just went fucking south. But it's so like an attractive story in such an odd way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is. Like it's, I don't know how to describe it, but it's. Speaking of that, like, what's your counting everything, all the Pirates of the Caribbean, everything else? What do you think? Like, what would you say your favorite Johnny Depp film or film like that he was in of all time? If you had to say. I know I'm putting you on the spot with that, but you got to have an idea, I would think. And he's done a lot of shit. That's the thing.
He really has.
I mean, he was in the first Nightmare on Elm Street, if you want to say that.
I don't want to mess up and not say the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think a very underrated role of his, and one of my favorites of his, is Fear and Loathing
Yeah.
in Las Vegas.
You think it's underrated? I mean, I guess there's...
I don't think, like, I mean, the people that like that movie really like that movie, so it's
Mhm.
kind of put on a pedestal, but I still feel like there's a lot of people that have not really seen that movie.
Yeah.
Thought he was dope in Sweeney Todd. I thought he was great in that because he sang in that, and he was also kind of like a menacing son of a bitch in that too.
Yeah. Great in Edward, man.
He was great in Edward. Those might be my 3 favorites from him.
I put Sweeney Todd in your top 3?
I thought he was great as Willy Wonka and Charlie
Yeah.
as well.
Well, yeah, you know he was great as Jack Sparrow, though, in at least the first, like...
Oh, I mean,
few
yeah,
of
that was
those
his
two.
iconic thing, though.
Yeah.
I wanted
But
to
you've
branch.
got to... I feel like you've got to include it in
I
one
wanted
of
to
those.
branch out, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he is... That's, you know, it's one of his roles.
It is.
You
It
can't
is.
exclude
It's a
Harrison
big
Ford
role.
from Han Solo. It's not his fault that fucking became as big as it did.
I thought Whitey Bulger. I thought he
Yeah.
was great as
That is an
Black Mass.
underrated role of his.
Yeah.
Because people don't talk about that at all. And that was way better than people act like it was. Like, his performance, if not the movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I always thought that as well. Whitey Bulger, like his portrayal in that was absolutely underrated. Scissorhands is probably an underrated movie.
Yeah. Scissorhands is...
But it's great.
It's one I've really enjoyed. It's one that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw whenever I was young, and so it's kind of like it's been with me for a long time, and I've always enjoyed it, but I almost feel like as I grew up, I kind of respected it even more. Like, it grew in the ranking of Tim Burton movies for me, for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
It's such a different, like, pure just idea that he had for the whole. I like that one a lot. I didn't see it until like later on. Like I didn't see it until 2000, like the mid 2010s, whenever. Like I never saw it until then. I did want to see it though because I heard about like the idea and stuff. I don't know what year. I really don't know which year exactly was the first time I saw it.
It's interesting film.
I watched it like once or twice around Christmas, but I've watched it on my horror list, and for not even purposefully, but it always kind of ends up later on my Halloween list every year. You know what I mean? Like just not like later every year, but like later in October or whatever. It just makes it like kind of later on the list, you know? Because I'm like, well, I'm gonna space out some of the Burton films, you know, that I watch, and I'm like, well, this year I intend to watch Dark Shadows, Sleepy Hollow, which I've already watched, and Edward Scissorhands, at least. So I haven't watched any of the animated ones in a while. Like I don't think I've watched Corpse Bride or Coraline in a while.
Yeah,
on the
I
list.
think I put Corpse Bride on last year, I believe.
I put both of them on many times though. For like probably 4 or 5 years in a row, I put them both on.
I've seen Coraline a lot of times. Same with Frank and Weenie. I put it on a handful of lists.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So would you say your top ones were? But what if you do open it up to Pirates of the Caribbean as one of those in your top 3 though that he's been in? Because I mean that was his iconic role. Yeah. He's got a lot of them though. It would be Dead Man's Chest.
I would say if you want the range of what Johnny Depp is as an actor, like what I say is like, oh, this is Johnny Depp. I would pick Edward Scissorhands, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and maybe Pirates of the Caribbean and The Curse of the Black Pearl, the first one, because I feel like that was a little bit more of the Johnny Depp show.
Yeah, Dead Man's Chest might have been the best, like, Pirates, though.
Yeah,
it was
like when they brought Davy Jones in and like all that.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I was just curious. But yeah, he's been in a lot of these, too, and, like, obviously, even in Christina Ricci, who's, you know, Misty in, like, Yellow Jackets also, speaking of that again. But she was so young in, like, Sleepy Hollow. I mean, he was still pretty young, too. Because that came in, like, 1999.
I just watched... recently, actually, just for the fuck of it, because I had it on VHS as a kid, and I saw it was on Netflix, so I flipped it on Casper. Dude, she was the little girl in Casper.
That's funny. She's the best character in Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Adult Misty. Funny. But yeah, she's been in a lot of that kind of shit.
I don't know why I keep moving my phone.
I know, we need to... Okay, next up we've got Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, or we've got The Shining.
Ooh. Stanley Kubrick.
Yep.
Man, my
putting it to the test.
And you know, this is probably a hot take too.
Oh no.
Clockwork Orange might be my favorite Stanley Kubrick movie.
I mean, there's some people that probably would say that.
Like... And I know a lot of people say 2001 Space Odyssey too. I haven't seen that one, so I can't really comment on that.
I definitely bet if you were to poll, you know, like a percentage out of 100 though, I mean, even if a lot of people said The Shining, I definitely think a percentage, maybe 10% or less, but I think some people would probably say like A Clockwork Orange. You know.
I think, but there's some people
Maybe
too that
more.
just do not like The Shining. Like, for as many people
Yeah.
that are like, that is a masterpiece, I've heard a handful of people take the total opposite take and be like, I haven't watched that movie more than one time because I hated it.
There's people that fucking put A Clockwork Orange as a comedy, and they did some fucking crazy shit in
It
that.
was dark. But
It
I
was
mean,
like
it was all kind of played in a way that was like this.
I
what
would
the
not
what the
say
fuck
it
are we
was
doing?
a straight
Oh
up
no, it
comedy.
was
Like,
definitely not a comedy.
it could have been like maybe like a.
It was a satire, I would say.
It could have been
in
like a
ways.
black comedy satire or something.
Yeah, it was. It was like a.
It was like a.
societal. It was a dystopian satire. That's kind of what it was. Really.
Yeah, that probably is accurate.
But
there's no way it was like no, like what, there was some fucking wild
no,
shit.
these guys were carving people up and like assaulting women.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. I only want. It was you showed me that actually too. I'd never seen that before. And that was I don't know if I've watched it again since, but it was definitely like has an impact on you.
until he got captured, and then they fucked him up.
Malcolm
and they fucked with him.
McDowell. I
Remember,
know.
like,
Yeah, that shit.
He
was wild.
became the guy that like all of it came back on him.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah. Dude, Malcolm McDowell is a great actor.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. That was like a young him.
Yeah. He was in Entourage also.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been
Yes.
acting forever.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, what were we on?
I would probably honestly have to lean The Shining still
The
because it was another one that I watched young.
Yeah.
Like, me and Devin watched that whenever our parents were gone one time. Like, that's a memory in my head that we, like, flipped that thing on, and I was, like, more glued to it than Devin was even. I was like, oh, man, this is some wild shit. And I was, like, pretty young. But that was a movie that just such hung on. I mean, yeah, there were the creepy twins and like there was creepy imagery in that, but it such hung on the insanity that was Jack Nicholson acting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that, like, just for his performance alone, I think I have to pick it. You know?
Yeah, I mean it's legendary, honestly. Like some people don't get it that we're told in this generation that are like, oh, it's a classic. Like they don't want to like watch, something of the length that it was and everything. And like even the TV movie of The Shining, I watched all of that because like I bought like a set that came with the original It movie with Tim Curry and Salem's Lot with Rob Lowe, and then that came with it instead of like the original Shining, and I was like, what the fuck? But even that wasn't too bad. But the Nicholson one was legendary, and I mean it's not like my favorite like horror movie or necessarily of all time, or even necessarily Nicholson film. But I mean it could. I don't know. It could be. I just haven't given that a lot of thought. But I think Nicholson was great in the role, and I actually haven't watched that in like 3 years, so I'm gonna put it on the list this year. I still intend to get to it. So, yeah. So you went with Nicholson? Are you with Nicholson? You went with
Yeah, The Shining.
The Shining.
I mean, it was, and a lot because of Nicholson,
It
so
was.
I guess you could say that.
Behind the Mask or Disturbia.
That was another interesting kind of, because it almost gave me like I like Alfred Hitchcock a lot, and like Rear Window, Disturbia felt like Rear Window, like, cause it was kind of like a voyeur movie, like Jimmy Stewart, the guy that played George in It's a Wonderful Life. He's like trapped in a wheelchair, and he's just like spying, not really spying, but he's just like bored, and it's the 50s. So he's just like looking out his window in binoculars, and he thinks he sees a murder. So, and like he thinks he sees his neighbor murder his wife. So he's like just hyper focused on this guy and what he's doing and shit. And it like Disturbia was kind of like that because he convinced himself that his neighbor was like a murderer. You know?
I mean, he was right.
Yeah.
But
I
he
mean-
did. Yeah, he was definitely like.
That's the
obsessed
thing.
with
That's the
it.
thing in those movies. They
He was on
usually
house arrest.
they usually are right.
Mm.
It's just there's a moment where they look insane, and you're like, maybe they aren't right about this. You know?
Because all like the main characters and their parents or their friends are like, "You're going crazy." They're like, "You need to stop doing whatever
Yeah.
you're doing." And then the main character's always like, "I'm not on drugs."
Like, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
this guy.
And then you just
You gotta
sound,
see
yeah,
it. Look,
you
look,
sound
right now.
crazy.
They're like trying to show him through the binoculars.
It just sucks because like that character's always done something in recent history to where people are like,
Nobody wants to.
"You need to
believe
calm
him,
down."
man.
Yeah, they're like, "You need to calm down," and they're like, they're actually telling the truth. But from their point of view, they're like, yeah, "This is exactly what they warned us about." Like, settle down, pal.
Yeah, that's that was definitely that kind of movie with Disturbia. It was like a voyeur, however you say that, like that kind of horror where it was like
Disturbia was good.
the
though.
spying on your neighbors.
Mhm.
They might be up to some shit. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was like a Shia LaBeouf whenever he was just killing it
Mhm.
and everything,
Came
like
out-
the mid to late 2000s.
Came out in 2007.
Yeah, that era. Like, I feel like, dude, he was running shit. Like, 06 to, like, 09, that dude was on top of the world.
Yeah, probably even a little after that. But yeah, he had a good run. But hopefully it'll be in some more stuff, you know.
Yeah, he's doing a little better now, I think. That said,
You know he's like with Mia Goth.
yeah,
That's crazy.
She
Yeah.
I think she kind of really, like, helped him
Yeah, that's what he
get
was
back
saying.
on, like, a positive path a little bit.
Yeah.
That said, though, I got to pick Behind the Mask. I got to give it another one, I think, here. I think just loving slasher movies, too. Like, the originality in Behind the
Okay.
Mask was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's a hidden gem. A lot of people don't know about it, you know. Shine some light on it.
No, Disturbia is good, and like
It is
I like that one. I don't know if I'm gonna watch that one or not this year, but it's been on my list probably at least 4 times at this point. Next up, we've got Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon or The Crow.
Yeah, they made other Crow movies, but those were shit. Okay.
They were just like those
So-
King Kong versus Godzilla movies. Yeah, but those movies were shitty.
They made new ones now, though.
No, that was good because Godzilla slapped the fuck out of him.
They made another
slap
one
him?
too, and then they had to team up and face the fucking
Yeah.
mechas.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna do that, aren't they?
Well, didn't they? Isn't that what
No, I
they
don't think
did in
that's
the
came
New
out.
Empire?
No. Yeah, maybe. I
Because
don't
there was
know.
a
I don't
second
remember.
one of those now that
There-
came out like this.
Oh yeah.
like
No, I
last year.
watched it. It's just like too absurd now. I feel like.
Well, I mean, what do you
I don't
think's
know.
gonna happen?
Cody
It's
thinks this is the
Godzilla versus
greatest.
Kong.
Not Cody, but Cody
I know,
Boy.
yeah. I know he's into him.
He probably thinks it's the greatest fucking thing.
He might. Yeah. I mean, if he's into both of those guys, I wouldn't see why you wouldn't.
We've been saying this for like 10 years. We're like, Godzilla would slap the fuck out of
Oh
King
yeah.
Kong. There's no way he wouldn't.
It just feels like it. I mean, you can like King Kong more, but that doesn't dispel from the
Dude,
fact that Godzilla's a giant fucking
Japanese,
dinosaur that shoots lasers out of his eyes.
That Japanese like recent release of Godzilla, that was pretty fucking good.
Oh,
01 or zero.
what was that
Whatever
called?
the fuck. Zero color. Something like that.
Yeah, Godzilla 001. That might have been it, right?
Something like that.
That sounds.
Yeah, I
wrong,
can't. I was gonna say it's
but-
on there somewhere, but yeah, it's.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was actually pretty fucking good too. What were we on?
Picked Behind the Mask over Disturbia.
Oh no, and then I gave you The Crow.
Oh, The Crow. That's
Yeah.
right. Damn, son of a
Brandon
bitch.
Lee died
Because
on
I said-
set. Man,
because
we
I
talked
said
about
that.
it with Jason a little bit.
They made other Crow movies, but those were shit. And that
No,
led
like-
us down that path.
Okay, why in the fuck would you ever have live rounds on the set?
Well, they did. Remember,
Well,
they
like,
said
and
that
Jason
was
was
the
talking
thing.
about
Yeah,
that.
that it was like a compacted.
Okay, but it still killed him.
Mm-hmm. It was because they let the guy go
And the
home
assistant,
or whatever,
yeah, it was-
and they didn't clear the barrel out and that compacted shell came out.
What the fuck are they fucking around with a firearm on set for?
They always, I mean, they use those things, and they're supposed to have the person there that knows their shit. And for the most part,
I don't think I don't think Alec Baldwin intentionally did that whenever that happened either. But why the fuck would you have rounds on set that could do that? You know what I mean?
I don't
it's
know.
just
I
like
don't even understand how that happened. Maybe it was a similar situation, but it's like, it's kind of wild that if that's the case, that it was like a compacted shell in the barrel, that something like that doesn't happen more often. Yeah. That said, I think this might be a hot take, but I think personally I'm probably going to lean behind the mask a little bit.
Over the Crow?
I think so.
It's your personal preference. I do think...
I think The Crow is a well-done movie. No, it is. It's very
It's became cult.
You have to want that era. It's like 90s grunge as a movie.
In very, very cult classic of that era.
Mm-hmm.
Like that 94, just right in there. It is that like Nirvana-esque kind of superhero / horror movie. But then it's like very grunge. And that is exactly like what it is. But it was like, and I think you recognize that in its own right because of its cult following. Like, it's definitely achieved, in its own way, legendary status. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is like in that...
A remembered and talked about movie all these years later.
But yeah, I mean, I knew you recognized that, but I was like, I mean, personally, I don't know what I would say either. Because, like, I know that about The Crow and Behind the Mask. Next up, we've got Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, or Trick or Treat.
Probably Trick or Treat. I think, just when it comes, like, one, there is definitely some... horror...
Sorry.
The horror
I don't usually do that into the mic.
The horror genre, like... That was kind of hilarious. Just,
why would I lean
just popping it?
Where the mic would be. Oh, man.
The horror genre does anthology films better than almost any genre. Like, they...
Yeah.
They're
more interesting.
I can name a handful of horror anthology films that I'm like, these are good. But, like, and Trick or Treat is one of those. But I don't know if there's a movie that I can, like, better say, like, oh, this fully feels like Halloween as a movie.
Yeah.
As Trick or Treat. Like, it just encapsulates the holiday inside of a horror movie. Because there's definitely movies that are like, this is a Halloween movie, but they're kind of kids' movies, or they're not as, like, horror.
Halloween, Michael Myers is kind of in there by default. Is like one of the top options for. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna always make sure I watch quite a few and spread them throughout the season. You know, of the Halloween movies. Because
it's,
like
I mean, it revolves around the
and
holiday too.
And he just happens to be the one that gets that. But I absolutely agree with that too.
Trick or Treat just feels so hollow.
It's so hard to find anything more ingrained and embedded with how the night, the season, and like the vibe feels of like the whole holiday.
Because within the anthology too, they hit all the different things. It's like, oh, they got
and like ghost stories.
They got the child killer. They got the ghost stories. They got the werewolves, the witches. It's like they could just go over all these different
horror cliches and stereotypes. But they're accurate. You know, like they're within the season. And like those are the ones like Dracula, you know, like all the different, you know what I mean. So like it hits on all those, and it does it really well. It does it. I mean, it fucking in under an hour and a half. So it's like that's one of the best ones out there to like feel the season.
Yeah, it's well done.
It's on my list. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I try to watch it most years. I think there was one year recently where I didn't watch it, but I was like, I'm gonna try to get to it like most years.
Yeah,
because it's it's on the list.
It's a holiday classic.
But yeah, saw that one in that film class. That was a good time. And it was just cool because that was the year we like started watching all those, and like I started buying some of those ones. I was like, oh, Donnie Darko, I'm fucking putting that on there.
Yeah.
I had never seen it before that film class.
Yeah, Devin, I remember, showed me that movie first time I ever watched it. But it kind of like grew on me the older I got, because I think I watched it with him again years later, because the first time I watched it, I mean, I was probably like a freshman in high school, and I mean, I still enjoyed it, but it was midnight on a Saturday and I was half asleep, you know?
Yeah. So,
Trick or treat.
trick or treat. All
Yeah.
right. Well, next up we've got Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon or Shutter Island.
Damn. See, I feel like that's one too that out of Scorsese's kind of doesn't really get talked about or get a whole lot of credit. Same with DiCaprio, I guess you could say his filmography. Like, dude, I really thought Shutter Island was sick. It's another one of those movies that probably does, it's like it kind of does not have the same impact after you see it the first time, because then you know the twist. So then you're like, oh, well, this is what it is. But like still showing that movie
it's so good
to people the first time, and just how well made it is. Like even knowing the twist, like it's just such a well done movie.
There's so many like star powered actors in that too. They're in two Ted Levine's in that too, and fucking I always forget his name, but who played Gandhi, and he's also in
Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley. He's in that. It's like there's obviously DiCaprio. There's so many like people in that are like of note.
Yeah, Scorsese, man.
Yeah,
it's one of his underrated pictures, I'd say.
Yeah,
for sure. Out of his filmography, I feel like I actually kind of liked it more than some. Like some people kind of shit on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know who the fuck would. That was a good one.
It was.
Dude, honestly,
like I said, it might not have the same impact after you know the twist, but it's still just a really well made movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, Shutter Island is great. I always say, I'm like, that and Inception came out the same year, and obviously Christopher Nolan's a great director, but I'm, the 1 in 5 person that says Shutter Island's better than Inception.
Yeah, most people probably would not say that. I probably would agree, but
yeah, I don't think many people say that.
I'm probably saying Shutter Island on this, but
all right,
and that one is kind of close because like
so
I appreciate.
Like, right now, Behind the Mask is only 1-3. Where are you gonna say you appreciate?
I just like they were just so vastly different from each other. Those two up against each other, like
because that was like a film, and Behind the Mask was very much, like how you said, like a mockumentary horror.
Behind the Mask for the parody aspect of it and for being a creative, low budget movie, but Shutter Island is Scorsese.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but it was actually a really fucking damn good movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get to that.
Of course it was. It's Scorsese.
I haven't watched that. I didn't watch that probably in at least a couple of years. Maybe 3. I think it's been at least 2 though. But I'm gonna try to get to that one too. Shutter Island. All right, we've got 2 left. Next up is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon or American Psycho.
American Psycho. That's one of my faves. I just feel like that's such
Have you watched it this year?
Wild. This is one of the years I haven't watched it yet. Actually,
you haven't. I don't know if you watched it last year or not though either. Because I asked.
I might not have actually. Yeah, I've been. I kind of laid off a lot of the classics. I've watched a lot over the past years, the past couple, I guess. But yeah, man, American Psycho is a great one. It's just like so balls to the wall, like just insane at times. Like it almost is like, it almost feels like buttoned up and close to the collar, like the first half of the movie, where you almost feel like you're like, okay, this is a little, I know what this is, I understand what's going on here. And then it just decides to flip everything on its head, and you're like, none of this, what's real and what's not. Like the second half. And it's one of the few movies that does that I'm actually like, well, I enjoy that this did that. Like, it worked. Like, it's just kind of like...
They really did it in a really good way.
So insane of a way to go about it and a way to end it. and it fits because it's almost like just inside of his mindset because he's insane. And so it's like
that's one of the movies too, and I'll say this too, like vouching for it because I was like, holy shit, whenever I bought it and then I know me and you watched it, I was like, that was one of the movies too where not that everybody puts it over the same.
It's definitely gained a big cult
however,
following too.
That is one of the films I don't hardly hear any hate towards.
Because Christian Bale knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, he does. If any, because most people are like, wow, that's a lot of people recognize like how it played on all of the elements that it did and like how it was so just telling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in that kind of mind and like, you know, because obviously he was, you know, a narcissistic personality.
Oh, he was a son of a bitch. He was a piece of shit. But
he was like very well calculated and
made
that movie. It was so
that was the entire culture he lived in. They were all pieces of shit.
He was like salivating over somebody else's business card being better than his.
That's what like Bret Easton Ellis, the author that wrote the book American Psycho. That's what every one of his books were. They were a social satire on a specific group of people. He did one over filmmakers in Hollywood, which was less than zero, basically, just like the LA Hollywood culture. He did one over like Wall Street brokers, which was American Psycho. It was like just the like scummy yuppie, I have to be better than you, like that one-upsmanship culture.
Yeah.
And that was basically his entire life. He had no personality besides being fake to impress everyone else. To try to impress everyone else. He just lived a fake life because he wanted to be the best. You know, like.
Oh yeah, but you don't do that without having some sort of like mental like disorder.
Oh, he had a problem.
You know, yeah. I mean, it's just.
But I mean, most of his books were like, they would take it to the nth degree, but it was like a satire on just the you would use a psychopath in the scenario,
the 1980s.
Yeah, just like that
the
culture.
drug of like the culture of like New York and shit like that.
Because every one of his books, people were doing cocaine and popping pills and shit and stuff.
It was fucking good, man. It's intense for sure.
That business card scene too is that's one of the Patrick Bateman himself.
Tasteful thickness of
had multiple scenes just in that movie where he could make you feel like, oh my god, this guy's like creepy. Yeah. He could make you feel like this guy is such a sleazeball, I hate him, and he could make you cackle. Yeah, that's impressive. All wrapped up in one character.
And like if he's drawing heat, like especially, it's just like, well, then he's doing a great job acting because like that was like it was one of his. And I think you said on a prior episode some time ago that you think that was his best performance.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if we're doing the Johnny Depp like Christian Bale thing, it would definitely be in his 3.
Yeah. I mean, oh no, yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people would say like they're like, okay, what would be identifying? Say like 3 movies that made Christian Bale what he is today. Mm-hmm. What would they be? A lot of people, I'm sure, would include that in like the 3.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? If you were to take kind of what you apply to Johnny. And I'm sure they would say like The Dark Knight or something as well, and then one other thing. I don't know what that would be.
I would definitely say
Dark Knight's one of them for sure.
I know. I was debating too if it was like, was there more acting on his part though in that or Batman Begins?
I mean, I guess you could say either one, but because of how big and how powerful and how long-lasting of an impact The Dark Knight would have, people would probably say that.
I'd probably say 3:10 to Yuma, the Western with Russell Crowe. That'd probably be the 3rd.
Maybe,
I'd round out.
Yeah, probably. Because, like, he also should, with the Batman stuff, it's like he can be a mainstream A-list superstar actor. You know what I mean? So it's like, he's got that, but he can also play all these other eccentric roles that are out of the fucking box.
Yeah, and they're all vastly different from each other, those 3.
Yeah, but it's like he also showcased with Batman that he is. I mean, even American Psycho, he was a leading man, but like, especially with an entrusted entity like Batman, he's entrusted to be a leading man in a huge fucking franchise. You know what I mean? All right. Well, we've got one more, and so far, Behind the Mask. Well, it's gonna lose this one either way. Not this next one. I mean this this whole thing, because it is 3-6 out of favor of Behind the Mask. You have taken Shaun of the Dead, Edward Scissorhands, The Shining, Trick or Treat, Shutter Island, and American Psycho over it. And last but not least, we have got Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, or Dark Shadows.
It's another one I saw in theaters, and I've seen a handful of times.
Me too.
But it's... I
The
debated
vibes, man,
on
the
watching
season's
it
great.
again this year.
I'm gonna watch it
but-
because I'm like, it just gives me that feeling that I long for with the season. Like, it helps.
Yeah, it's definitely it's kind of like a fun concept too. Like, oh, this vampire's been, asleep for however long, and he gets risen, and he just doesn't understand the world at all. It's kind of funny. Because it's like, it's one of those, like, it plays with horror elements, but it's not really a horror, It's like, it's within the umbrella of horror, but it's not horror, It's like, it's got a werewolf in there, it's got a vampire in there.
It plays on like the cliches and everything.
I'd probably go with Behind the Mask a little bit.
Okay.
I think it's,
It won 4.
yeah. Just again, because it is kind of like an underrated little hidden gem, and it really did play with the slasher genre and parodying it well. Like, it was like just explaining everything from the killer's POV. There hasn't been a movie like that, so it's kind of like it deserves a little love. I'll toss another bone there. We'll make the list look a little better. Plus, I probably would pick it.
What was my score?
Yours was 6-4 in favor.
In favor.
And mine was 4-6 out of favor.
Alright, well, those were pretty tight.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, let's take time to take a quick, brief break here. And we will come back in with some movie reviews, as well as good old-fashioned rounds of the good, the bad, and the shits. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with casting the Spotlight episode number 201. And it is time for the latest movie reviews, that being Oculus and Villains.
Yes.
So, damn.
What do we want to talk about here?
I don't know whose we started with last time. Not that it really matters, but we always try to flip it back and forth if we can. But we never remember fucking which one.
That's our answer with everything.
It is
For this or that,
and it's
and
only
with this.
one or the other. And yet, adult me and you still cannot remember ever which one it was.
It's bad.
It's like it's unfucking believable.
I think.
What was the last movies you reviewed? Actually, well, maybe we can backtrack.
I gave you, I believe, When Evil Lurks.
Yeah.
Right? What did you give me? Oh,
Wrong Turn.
Wrong Turn. That was the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think...
we talked about When Evil Lurks first.
Okay. So I will go.
Alright.
With Villains.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Man.
And I was going to say, this time we won't be giving each other a movie. We'll just pick back up with a segment on the next solo episode, start fresh.
Yeah.
We've been going strong. Oh shit.
Tez Johnson again.
We've been going strong though, because this time I dare say we've at least tied, if not already beat, how many times we originally did the segment.
Yeah.
So, because we've already done it like 6 or 7 times. This time around. I think we did it like 5 or 6 initially.
Yeah, we've been going at it. And I mean, we're not just going to disappear with it again. We're just,
No.
We'll
that's the thing
take
too.
a break every
Is
now and
we
then.
can take a break too, and then just implement it back. I feel like it'll be more as we kind of move into, and out of like horror season, and we'll hyper focus on football. We maybe put more emphasis on movies, but that being kind of like all movies, not just horror, but just what I mean. Like it'll kind of be. It's because right now, obviously, almost every episode, it's like there's a lot of predicated stuff. This is the Daylight in the Dark Part 8. A lot of it's predicated on horror. Yeah, absolutely. Villains, man. Bill Skarsgård, Micah Monroe.
Yeah. Man, they were great as like. I really like them a lot as actors, anyways. They're just good, but
yeah, they've both been great in everything I've seen them in.
Yeah.
And I've seen her in like 3 or 4 things I've watched this year.
Yeah, she's good too. She's very she has her own, like, she looks like her, like, just like nobody else looks. You know what I mean? That's in Hollywood necessarily. Like, she has her own sort of, and Bill too. They're both like original. They just felt like, they almost felt like genuine people in the movie. Like like they felt like a real life couple that loved each other.
It was
almost
funny
like,
as fuck, honestly. Like they're bullshit with like just fucking around and like trying to like break in, and
like the stuff they said to each other and their dynamic. It was like they were kind of shitheads, but you also rooted for them. But I also just like, I loved them in a way too. I was like,
yeah, you wanted to see them
characters
escape the situation that they were in, for sure.
Like I believed the relationship. I'm like, these two feel genuine.
Wasn't it funnier than fuck too? Like some of their bullshit with each other.
Oh yeah.
And like just that, like whenever he's like talking about freeing that little girl, like goes downstairs. He's like, don't you want to be free? Like, don't you just kind of like fucking. And she just like, you can tell she's kind of just detained there, But then they explain
She's got that Munchausen syndrome or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She just like doesn't really know what to do. And then he like talks the shit on her when he's like handcuffed to the pole, but it's just so he's trying to sell that story to the guy, to George, and he's like, oh no, what are you talking about her? I don't give a damn about her. Fuck her. She's the reason I'm down here in the first place. She can go to hell for all I care. And then he like looks over at her and he's like and then later on they go back down there to rescue her and he's like, come on. He's like, she won't come still, and he's like, are you still mad at me? He's like, I was joking about it earlier. I winked at you. He's like, that's a universal sign that I'm just playing.
Yeah. I know. I watched that early on the list this year. It was like 6th.
If the story itself was just,
it was
so
like a lot of.
outlandish.
You could almost throw that on and have fun with it.
Yeah, at any time of the year. It was kind
and
of
it's like it's I like that a lot.
That couple, just the way they acted, actually sort of reminded me like of just because they were like low life, like not low life, but like low time criminals that were like robbing petty places and trying to escape to Florida or whatever. They just reminded me a little bit like how much in love they were with each other, like of the couple in Pulp Fiction that were like robbing the diner.
I think you're gonna say like
shit.
Bonnie and Clyde type thing.
I mean, it's kind of like
that, it is in a way, like, but to a different.
They were also
degree,
sort of drug addicts, I guess.
Yeah,
because they had that
bag.
With
that
all
was
the drugs
so
in it
funny
shit.
that he's like that was what like got him going again, because they had all those drugs and they're like, oh, we need to get this in his nose, and then he fucking wakes up.
I mean, yeah, that's what got her going, dude.
Yeah.
That's what she was the reason.
Oh yeah,
was able to get him going. Yeah, it was
that shit. Their dynamic and their chemistry and like it was. I thought it was hilarious. Like it was a great horror comedy.
Man, yeah, it was like It was almost sort of like a home invasion flipped on its head too, in a way, like a home invasion story flipped on its head, where George and Gloria, they ended up being like the more insane ones. You know, they were the homeowners, and they were kind of like the old weirdos, like freaking. When she had him like handcuffed to the bed and stuff, was doing all that freaky shit with him and whatnot. It's like as soon as that went south a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, what's wrong? Do I not turn you on?" She's like, "After all I did for you, after all I was the reason you didn't get killed," and blah blah blah. And she like slaps the shit out of him, like chokes him and stuff. She's like, "I can make all this go away for you," and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she stops and she's like, "But all I want to do is love you." It's like, dude, at that point, it's like, dude, even if you freaking bang this crazy old witch,
oh yeah,
you're still not getting out of there alive.
No. And he was like thinking about it too, and
but it's like, no, he like knew the plan the whole time. Was like, I'm gonna try to like get into this and have her like uncuff me and then just like get the fuck out of here. And it sort of worked for a second. Until it didn't.
Yeah, I felt like that was so, especially they just nailed the horror comedy and like made it so, I don't know, like they took a pretty simple script and made it like really fucking intelligent, like witty, and like, you know what I mean? And I was just like, that was like a really fucking, I was like, that will be one of the ones that I take from this year's list and be like, okay, that's like one that, you know, I may watch in the future, you know what I mean, for sure. Not that some of them aren't, but it's just like, there's so much stuff to incorporate in that, obviously.
Yeah, that one's, it was definitely, it was funny, for sure. There was like, the moment whenever they were first coming into the house, you know, and like rummaging around and looking at shit, and he like tossed the camcorder down, and it like opened up, and like we saw as the audience, but they didn't because he was like still rummaging with shit. So it was at like floor level, and it was like a video on there of another couple in the house, and they were like bound to chairs, like duct tape on their mouths and shit. So you like knew like, oh fuck, there's some weird shit going on here, you know?
Yeah.
The way that like whenever they confronted them initially too, like George and Gloria, like they like pulled that gun on them and stuff and got in their face and whatnot, and Gibbs, man.
Gibbs got him. Ah!
He's eating.
Yeah.
But
he is.
It like, yeah, when they initially confronted them in that house, it's like the way that they acted, you should have known. You should have known that they were not going to be like an easy, oh, we can do whatever the fuck we want with this couple. Because they were so calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah,
They're just like, what are you doing in our house? Oh, you can't be just up here doing whatever you want, man. Like, blah, blah, blah. Let's chill. Let's talk about it. Well, it's like...
Yeah. And they also couldn't just let him leave because now they know this shit. Is that your car broke down back there?
Yeah, they were up to something up there.
Oh, yeah.
George and Gloria.
That, like, it was so epic, though, like, too, like, even the ending was so... I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, how is this thing gonna end, like, after all this shit? Like, and, yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed that one as a new watch of the season, for sure.
Yeah, it was a fun time. Plus, it's like, it was kind of one of those where I feel like with Micah Monroe and Bill Skarsgård, it was sort of like a hidden gem for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and you got to see Bill as, like, literally, it was just Bill. You know what I mean? He was just, it wasn't like him in makeup or him doing it, you know? It was just kind of like, but he just has so much fucking personality. Like, just, I mean, whether it's him, whether it's something he played, like, just so much seeps out
That's
of,
right,
like,
yeah,
his...
like, I almost believed them
It's just
two
crazy.
as a couple in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, man, maybe they should actually date.
Like, they were, like, going around, and, yeah, like, they were going around and, like, pulling this shit. Like, I was like, it's fucking hilarious, but I was like, at the same time, you got just weird vibes once they got to that, like, house and everything, and, like, the guy, like, I just feel like they really balanced, and not horror in the sense of necessarily being scary. I mean, maybe eerie, maybe cringy at times, obviously, like, in a good way, for a horror movie. But, like, they totally just did the balance of horror comedy right, I felt like, with that movie. And, you know, I was, that was one of the things that drew me to it, because I was like, I ended up watching some of those, because even some of those with Samara Weaving, like, I guess she had, like, they were kind of like horror comedies.
In ways.
And, like, The Babysitter was, and Ready or Not really was. I mean, it was, like, that's why they'll be like, oh, this is, like, because if the genre is first, like, horror, they'll say horror comedy. You know, and that's kind of what it was.
Yeah, and then Ready or Not was almost like an action film at times, too, with, like...
Yeah. That was good. Like, those are some of my favorite ones, like, that I've seen. And then, yeah, last night I watched Joyride. Yeah, that shit was wild. I watched that. Somehow I stayed up late enough after Oculus, speaking of, to watch Joyride. I was like, what the fuck? But I would do it. Okay, so getting an Oculus, I was so fucking thrown off by, like, what the hell was going on with this time lapse and loop. At the beginning, I was like, what the fuck is the actual timeline? And what's the timeline they're, like, going back to? And, like, I guess when they were, like, teenagers, Karen Gillan was, like, that was the main part of the story, at least for the beginning, was, like, that time. I mean, it started with them, I guess, working out, like, the inheritance money, maybe?
Yeah, it was like the main timeline, the present day timeline was current day whenever she got the mirror and they were going to destroy it.
Yeah.
She got it, you know. But they flashed back to the devastation that the mirror caused on the family initially throughout the movie. So it was like you were in, but that was also to give you the unsettling feeling because they didn't know what the fuck was going on because the mirror was fucking with them in real time.
Yeah.
So, like, they were probably getting hit with a lot of crazy shit and memories and things that happened with the mirror. But yeah, as a viewer, it was like you were getting that. And then in present day, the timeline, you didn't know a lot of what was real and what was not whenever it was happening in real time because they were getting mentally fucked with.
Because it felt like every time she was like, okay, this happened, she was like trying to take like an order of events or a series of actions. Something would just, like, I don't know, it was just kind of like, at times I definitely did not know. I was like, what the fuck is the current day and what, you know, and then it kind of started making a little more sense.
She tried to, like, set out all these boundaries, too, of, like, okay, we're going to put this and this and this and this and this in place to make sure. You know, we're going to set a timer. We're going to make sure to eat every however often. And we're going to, like, we're going to drink water however often. And so, like, all these different things so that, to try to, like, keep a one-up on the mirror. Like, we're gonna keep our sanity because we're gonna keep a little like a little crank timer because it can fuck with all of your technology and shit. But it can't fuck with that, apparently. And they thought that they were just gonna like be able to destroy it, which it wouldn't let you destroy it. What was it called? The Lasser Glass? I think that was its name. It was like
this fucking mirror, man.
Very haunted mirror that killed like and cursed everybody that ever owned it. But if you ever tried to destroy it, obviously it wouldn't let you because it was cursed.
Watching that movie back too, I was like, man, this feels like it could have been talking about like time periods and stuff, like it could have been made any time between 2007 and 2014, and I would have believed it. Not even just for the WWE, films aspect, but like just the throwback of like when it felt like it very much feels like it makes sense within that, Disturbia, fucking, like that sort of time of like horror movies, like but before Sinister and The Conjuring, kind of time.
Yeah.
And it just like fits right into that, or I guess it came out alongside when those did. But yeah, that was a wild movie.
And
I was like,
it
what
was
the
just
I was lost at first, and then it like started to make a lot more sense to me as everything like progressed.
Yeah, the like initial owner, like the witch or whatever that was cursed within the mirror, like she was creepy as fuck though.
Mm.
The one that like whenever he came to check on his dad late at night when his dad got all fucked up by that thing, and he was like, I gotta work in my office all the time.
Oh yeah.
But he's like, Dad, and he like came to check on him late at night, he like opened that door and you just see the dad at first like looking at like his computer or whatever, and he's just like, and then like he opens it a little bit more and she was like standing directly behind the dad, like whispering in his ear. And she like looked at him. That shit was fucking creepy.
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
that was like a creepy ass shot.
So that shit was freaking weird.
I thought that was like,
what lady was in his office?
that shit like chilled me.
Yeah, some of those were fucking kind of cringy too. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And it was like, it also made me feel weird. It kind of almost felt like that. This movie makes you feel like you're on drugs. Like it's like, you feel tripped out. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's not. There's time jumps. You're just
like deja vu, but I'm like, I'm still trying to understand what's going on. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm watching some of the same stuff, backwards that I haven't seen? Yeah, it definitely does that. Like the time loop thing. It's fucking weird. But it's kind of part of the trickery, almost of the film and the way it, the way it is.
Yeah, it's like a mind trick.
But like purposely, because then it really puts you in the mind fuckery of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I was kind of thinking.
I think it's like
when I was watching it too.
I thought it was really well done. Yeah, I was honestly pretty surprised seeing a WWE studio.
It didn't feel like they were capable of making something that dense for a horror film. You know what I mean? Like in that kind of
But they got Mike Flanagan somehow.
Yeah.
So I guess that's before he really took off, though.
But I definitely would say that about it too. But no, I'm glad you enjoyed Villains. I'm like that. That was. I mean, that almost seems like a hard movie not to enjoy, because I'm like, if you even mildly pay attention to there, and that was one of the reasons that movie like sold so much too, is because I'm like, their chemistry was so good. It was so good. Mm-hmm. And then they both appeared in several things you watched during the season. I also watched her in a movie called. It was one that they were in like maybe the UK, and like she just felt like she was being watched and stalked, which at first didn't turn out to be, like, just for weeks, and like really fucking paranoid about it. And then like it turned, like, she's just like, oh, maybe it's not true, maybe I am just imagining it. And then like towards the end of the movie, you actually see like things flip, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, that was good too. I think Villains is better than that, but she appeared in like probably at least a few things I watched this year so far.
Yeah, she's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their chemistry was so like. It was just such a good balance of being a horror movie and just being funny. Like, I was like, because it wasn't a parody either. It was an original film.
Yeah, they were almost like I said, they were like,
they did make you want to root for
criminals,
them
but you like kind of loved them. You really did love them. You grew to be like, I really like these two.
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny. And then they're like, oh, we're taking this girl with us. Don't you want to get the fuck out of here? And then he was just like, fine, fucking stay here.
It was funny though too initially when she's like, what the hell's going on here? We gotta take her. And he's like, we don't have to though. We could just get the fuck out of here. And she just like looks at him and is like, oh, we could try to get her out, I guess.
Yeah, he's so funny. Like I don't know. That dude just fucking exudes like fucking just star power personality. I mean, he's been great in like a lot of in a lot of stuff. Obviously, we've watched, but that was different. The Oculus was definitely different. That's for sure.
Yeah, Oculus I thought was a lot of fun. That was Karen Gillan. That's her name, right?
Yeah, she was pretty young. I guess she's been doing because you said she was in something else, didn't you? Or is that something else we talked about earlier? I don't remember.
What, in another horror movie?
Yeah.
I might have
Who'd you
seen
say was in Casper too? That's what I was.
That was Christina Ricci.
Yeah. She's been active for a long time. That's coming back into theaters for the 30th too. Devil's Rejects coming back into theaters if it hadn't already for the 20th. I saw that too. I was like, oh shit, they're like everybody's trying to do it now too. This year it exploded, and I'm like, I'm not gonna see absolutely everything
it
does.
Do this with everything.
No, but I am gonna probably make it part of like some of the yearly watches in the theaters. Just whenever something comes out that I want to see again. So.
But yeah, that was those were some good ones. So that was a good round of them.
Yeah,
mine was a little more of a horror comedy, lighthearted one. Yours was kind of like a supernatural, creepy, mind fuck.
Yeah, it definitely was that.
But yeah, I thought.
I know this time I gave you the you're just gonna chill and watch a fun, entertaining horror film.
Yeah, I gave you a couple of those.
Yeah,
Bubba Hotep is definitely one. But Bubba Hotep and Oculus are both that I hold pretty close. But they're vastly different movies.
Yeah. Alright, well, do you want to get a few of these out of the way before we wrap this motherfucker?
Yeah, let's do a couple here.
Alright, you want me to throw one out there for you?
Yep.
Alright, well, we're watching a little bit of the Bucks and Lions here. I'm going to throw this one out for you so you can have your time talking about however you want to look at this. What do you think of the 2025 Dallas Cowboys performance so far? In a year where not a lot of people did believe in them after Schottenheimer got hired, they didn't re-sign Micah, traded him to somebody that, usually they don't fare well against in the playoffs. Some people question that. That's the reason to bring it up. But yeah, what do you think? Honestly, they're doing fucking this might be one of the best versions of Dak of all time.
Oh, Dak is playing absolutely lights out. The offense is running on all cylinders. Javonte Williams is over-exceeding all expectations. Dak is playing the best ball he's played in 5 seasons. Freaking CeeDee's on fire. George Pickens this is the best George Pickens has ever been, and he was the number 1 wide receiver on the Steelers.
I needed CeeDee to come through too, so I'm thankful for him to that.
It's just this. The offense is absolutely wonderful, and the defense are clowns.
Oh yeah, it couldn't be more opposite on how good they are on each side of the ball. It's like roll out the red carpet. We got the runway here for the offense, and then it's a clown car pulling up for the defense. Yeah, it's Swiss cheese. And I traditionally like a couple of the cornerbacks on Trayvon Diggs. I like Deron Bland. And Deron Bland had a pick 6 this week. Trayvon's been hurt a lot. It's just for one. Eberflus is the defensive coordinator. I don't know when this guy's had success anywhere. Wasn't he the Bears head coach not that long ago? Yeah. That was horrible. Yeah, he was. And no, of course it didn't go well. And apparently he's wanting the corners and the safeties and stuff to run zone defense, and they're used to running man, and they've had most success with man throughout the years. Trayvon and Deron Bland led the league in interceptions. The Cowboys
led the league in interceptions for a couple seasons with those guys running man. And he's like, let's run zone, and they're just getting killed. It's like, why are you doing shit that's not working? And continue to just, we gotta do it. If you're a good coach, you adjust to your fucking players.
Yeah.
And the shit that they're the best at. And you run that. And you make plays around that shit. You don't fucking, this is the playbook, or I'm fucking sticking to it. You're innovative. You're a fucking coach at a professional level. I don't know, man. The defense is just
the defense is
it's horrible.
Non-existent.
And the offense, and that's really, really a bummer, because if the defense was even half as good as the offense has been, we might be leading the NFC East right now.
Yeah.
At the current moment. Honestly. And that's like insane to say, but that really is a reality. But it's just been, I saw a stat the other day that was like, in the past 4 games, Dak has thrown like, or he's had like 14 touchdowns and, you know, like close to 1,500 passing yards and just 0 interceptions. Just playing like lights out football, and they're like, within that time, the Cowboys defense has given up over 100 points. They're doing nothing for them.
Oh no, yeah. Might as well have half their players on the field.
So it's, in a way, it's like I'm happy that it's going this way. I'm happy we're 3-3-1, which is, we both got to deal with that one with our team.
I know it's gonna hang on there all fucking year.
I'm glad we are where we are at this moment, because I didn't expect it, but it's in a way still frustrating, because I just wish it was going a little bit better. You know?
Yeah. I mean, there's still quite a bit of season to play.
I wish that the defense could just tighten up. That's what's the frustration. The Commanders might be done. They got a tough next stretch of games.
Yeah. Oh, and they are not in a position to be able to handle that. Yeah, I mean, but on the other side of things, Giants look much better than everyone thought too.
I know. They lost one of the most insane games of all time this last week.
Yeah. Oh, with Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was like 33 points in one fucking quarter.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They're
like crazy.
They were down, I think they said it was 20, it was 26-8 with 5.5 minutes left in that game. And they came back and won 33-32. How the fuck is that even possible? That doesn't even make a bit of sense.
No. So what do you think of their season so far?
I'm going to honestly say a little underrated, because I don't think that most people expected it, and I still think that a lot of analysts aren't really talking as much about them as you would necessarily expect. It's like, I mean, the offense is putting up crazy numbers every game.
What I would say is they're all kind of admitting the Cowboys are better than we thought, but nobody's really saying, oh, they're going to make the playoffs and, do this and this.
I mean, I'm not even going to say that
either. Nobody's going overboard. Just because everybody's been burned, so nobody wants to be, caught being the fool.
Yeah. I will say, just in that aspect, though, a little underrated, because I think just Dak is playing some of the best ball he's ever played, and Javonte's playing.
Hopefully, CD puts up a fuckload of numbers the rest of the year.
I'm so happy that I got this Dak CD connection this year. Moving forward, I just wish I had Hampton healthy. it's never. I can never just have the full force of what I drafted out.
I know.
Ever.
It always happens like that. And if you did, you'd be fucking squashing people.
I'm sure
That's the way
everybody
it feels.
thinks that, but
No, look, my team last year should have dissolved motherfuckers.
but they didn't. You didn't come home with the freaking championship.
No, but I made the semis, and I got eliminated in both leagues in 24 hours.
Yeah, that's rough.
I know. What do you got?
Well, we'll just stick with the football since we're on it
Alright.
for the moment. What do you think about the complaints around injuries taking place on AstroTurf? Do you think that it is kind of the AstroTurf? Or do you think that it has a factor to play in it?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, is there, what are the numbers? Is there a significant amount of, numerical value in injuries taking place more on AstroTurf than actual grass?
I mean, I know MetLife had a crazy number of ACL tears.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, is they're all like AC, and it's just like, wait a minute, maybe we should look at this. So, I mean, if that's the case, if the numbers are, oh, this is fucking not bad news, and there's too many injuries happen on this, and there's a pattern that's clear and evident, then I would say,
I mean,
you said the complaints?
but it's football at the same time, and I'm sure.
But I mean, they can also switch that shit, too.
Plenty of injuries take place on grass fields too. It's not like
No, I know. Yeah, that's true.
they're not taking place on there.
But why the fuck are we fucking around with turf anyway? You know what I mean? Should we be?
I almost just feel like you should go grass fields, no dome stadiums, football.
Yeah, that'd be old school. That'd be sick. No, I mean it'd be cool. But not everybody's gonna do that shit.
Yeah, I know. That's what kind of makes it special for the few that have it, and everybody's getting rid of it.
Hey, the Packers still
Everybody's
have
getting
their
rid of
own field outdoors, baby.
it. Yep.
It's fucking
Buffalo's-
legendary stadium.
Buffalo's trying to get rid of it. Cleveland's getting rid of it. Chicago's trying to get rid of it. All these classic outdoor game stadiums. It's we need snowball. We need cold weather games. That's part of it, man.
It is the real wear and tear and toughness of the game.
And it's so much fun because it's it is a wintertime sport, and just seeing that, seeing the guys out there when it's snowing and shit, or when you can just see all their breath and shit. It's that just feels damn, this is gridiron football, you know.
So you said the
Just playoff
complaints
football.
around.
Yeah, just because, I feel like after Malik Neighbors and there was a handful of injuries. That was the big notable one I can think of off the top of my head this season. But, it happens a lot where, there will be a big injury that takes place and the debate comes back where it's oh, it's the turf fields or... And I mean, it might have something to do with it for sure, but
Yeah.
I follow this old school NFL page and all these different things too, and I saw this one guy talking about it, and he's man, I remember, whenever I was a kid, back in the early 80s, the debate was grass fields being bad because guys were getting knee injuries. And he put up an article about it, and it's just an ongoing debate. You're gonna get leg injuries because it's football. You're doing dynamic shit with your legs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're getting tackled and hit.
It could happen either way, but I mean, if there's nothing to suggest that it's stupid to do it, if it was it's 90% up on turf fields compared to grass, it's okay, well obviously that's fucking dumb. We shouldn't have turf fields. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's not significant, it's not, I mean, if you want to complain, whatever, but it doesn't mean they should change it unless it's so bad they're willing to. Because I feel at a certain point, just like anything, if too big of a percentage obvious that it's a bad idea, I feel like they would change it. The NFL and a lot of just sports in general now try to be proactive instead of reactive. So like before the fans turn their backs on the product changes and stays relevant with the times.
I think it should just be even just listen to the PA. Like whatever the players are saying, if they think that turf is a problem, they don't like playing on it or whatever, then maybe
I'm gonna say fair.
Yeah.
Probably. So I don't know. I don't know if they should be. I mean, it definitely should be like well maintained as always if it's grass, and it's usually they have fucking people get paid millions of dollars to take care of all that shit.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you got to maintain the field even if it's turf, but like there's more upkeep if it's grass.
I don't even really like the look of turf, honestly. Like it just.
I don't like it as much either.
I'm not a big fan. I think the Blue Jays field is dumb as fuck. Always thought that.
Like even football wise, like turf, I don't hate it. It doesn't like ruin the game for me when teams have turf fields or anything. But I do think there is just like there's just certain love and nostalgia for the grass field. The outdoor grass field.
Yeah, I can see that. You want to throw my other one out there?
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, what do we add on here? Okay. I don't know if I've ever put this on here or not. I haven't eaten these in a while, in like probably at least a year or two. What do you think of unfrosted Pop-Tarts?
I mean, what does anybody really think of them?
I don't understand why you would. Here's my thing. If you're going to already be eating a Pop-Tart, why wouldn't you just fucking get the one with the icing and all the good
Maybe you don't like it, though. Maybe that really is the thing. Maybe it's like that, it's just too much sweetness.
Then why even get a Pop-Tart?
It's
going to be a lot of sweetness anyway. It's sugar.
You just like the pastry with
my
the gel.
God. Then get something else. No, but that isn't the difference between, no, it's perfect. I'm not saying they shouldn't exist. I'm just asking, what do you think?
I think if you toast them, they probably wouldn't be horrible.
No. I don't like ever toast my Pop-Tarts, though, to be honest. I mean, like I have, and I will every great now and then.
They are good toasted, though.
I don't even really buy it. I haven't bought them in like 2 years.
I haven't bought them in a long time.
But yeah, I was just came up. There's actually an unfrosted movie on Netflix with like Jerry Seinfeld. I watched it with Papa and Linda like a little before I moved out of there. And it was not bad. It was kind of like satirical in a lot of ways.
I remember
and it like kind of like representative of like the 60s and like that time whenever everything was going on. So it was actually pretty fun for kind of a throwback movie, period piece in a way, but it was comedic.
And Jerry Seinfeld, and I even kind of like Seinfeld, but he seems like a guy that would eat some unfrosted Pop-Tarts.
Maybe I wouldn't. Unfrosted.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. So I think I guess fair that they're an option. They obviously don't make them in all the options. They make the frosted ones. Like
it's only like strawberry, really.
You can get them like strawberry and blueberry. I think maybe. And like that's
blueberry
probably
shouldn't sign up for that shit. We don't do that.
But yeah, it seems like it'd just be the fruit,
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a fucking
s'mores one with
cookies and cream.
Yeah. The cookies and cream ones were great. They used to be like sticks that you could break apart.
I could see you doing brown sugar. Oh yeah, those were good.
They were cookies. Yeah. The cookies and cream ones were like
sticks. Those
s'mores great.
Brown sugar cinnamon. They might do those on frosted.
Those are my favorite when I was like a little kid.
Yeah, those are good. Those are still good. Those are ones that I'll like.
Dude, one time I bought, not even that long ago, like a few years ago, I bought those like the wild berry ones, with the drizzle. Mm-hmm. And like that's one thing you count on. Oh, it looks cool, the blue streaks and the purple thing. I have never seen the icing job so fucking brutally fucked up in my life.
It was the guy's first day on the job.
I've never seen it so just absolutely pulverized.
or they needed to do maintenance on the machine. It was fucking
It was
shaky.
so bad. If I had known the icing was gonna look like that, I wouldn't have fucking bought them.
It's like, it's a squiggle, man. It ain't that fucking hard.
No, like, yeah, it's not. And they could have at least looked good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I still ate them.
That is always a bummer, dude. Like,
The whole pack was like that.
That it doesn't bother me as much whenever it's something like that, though, as if it's like if I get something from a fast food place and it's fucking sloppy as shit. I'm like, dude, I paid like $6 for this and it's fucking all over the place. Why did I even stop
What the
and
hell
get
is so
this?
sloppy from a fast food place that was only $6?
I don't
I
know.
want to get that.
I'm just thinking like McDonald's or Jack in the Box. You
Yeah.
just stop, you get a burger or two, and then you're just like,
Dude, I haven't even had making
bro, this shit is not even put together in the slightest. The tomato is fucking over here and the bun's over here.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's
lettuce is
sloppy
all
than
over the
fuck
fucking
sometimes.
wrapper. What are we doing? Why did I pay any money for this?
Well, like Andy said on one of his episodes, and he's like, and you know, 30 seconds ago, some 16-year-old just warmed it up.
Threw it in the microwave.
Yeah, they slop that shit around sometimes for sure. So yeah, you're gonna say fair for unfrosted Pop-Tarts?
I'm gonna say fair.
Oh boy. Alright, well.
Even though, yeah, I would never purchase
No, I
them
agree.
myself.
I would probably say that too, but I think they're just. It's just like, what are you trying to act? Oh, we're up. Like, you're already fucking gonna eat a bunch of sugar. I don't see why people like dip their toe in. Oh,
So,
I'm never. There's certain things that I'm just like, either you're out, or you go all the fuck in. And I do believe that with certain things. That's what annoys me about people with certain. Oh no bargaining. If you're being contentious with yourself about it, the answer is no. You should fucking want to do it. Oh man.
Boy, what was?
We
What,
just
what
said
did you
unfrosted.
just give me? Oh yeah, that's what that was. Okay.
No, I just had like my convictions, like the AI said.
Yeah.
But no, like I do think that about certain.
No, it is, yeah. I mean, that's,
But no, to be honest with you, it's like, am I mad that it's an option? I'm not really. That's what's just funny about this. Because it's not like I'm like, oh, take it away.
I could see where
But
you could potentially be coming from, though.
No, like-
from that argument from, like, it's Pop-Tarts.
It's
man. If you
already
don't
a
want
bunch of
that,
sugar.
Don't buy them.
What do you mean?
Well, also, it's just like, that's what they are. They're icing on top of here.
Yeah.
They've always been that.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This is what we do.
The syrup and bullshit within it's probably worse anyway than the fucking solid icing on the outside.
Well, let them have their gel pastry, man.
No! Oh, man. What do you got?
Well,
I guess you got one more?
one more for you. What do you think? This is rolling back a little bit into the horror here. She gets a little bit of hate. Is she fully deserving of it? Some people like her. What do you think of Sheri Moon Zombie's acting?
Well, I mean, there's been times, like, in scenes that I've, like, seen her be really good, and then there's some times where it's been, and I don't know if that's just Zombie's script, and, like, sometimes in, like, The Devil's Rejects or her character, and there's just times when it's just, like, a little more, like, so it's, like, I don't want to judge it on that scale, because it's, like, if it's cringy, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the acting. It could be the characters, the dialogue, the situation, you know what I mean, which with some of the uncomfortableness of The Devil's Rejects, but, like, I'm fair enough to obviously see past that, because that's not the way it, but, like, there has been times when I'm like, I definitely didn't believe her as much, but then she does do a pretty good job, and I felt Halloween, and as much as I wasn't a fan of the script in The Lords of Salem, like, she didn't do a bad job of acting in that by any means.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think the perception of her acting is? I mean, what are people saying in the horror zeitgeist?
I've heard a lot of people kind of give her some hate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of it's probably just the trickle down of they don't like Rob Zombie anyways. And he cast her as the lead or one of the leads in most of his movies, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's a hate for that, and there's a hate for his movies in general, so, like, some of that's probably some carryover. And, I mean, I do get, I guess, a little bit of it, but, like, because it's not all the most believable or the most, like, oh, she's got me, like, pulled into this, you know? But, like, I also think some of the stuff she's been in is kind of, like, meant to be a little more like that. She's kind of in, like, grindhouse sort of movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's like she's more of a in-your-face, meant to grind your gears, nails on a chalkboard actress. You know, she's not...
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, I've never really had any hate for her. I kind of, like, I think, like, here's what I'd say. If I saw her or met her, I'd be hyped. I think that she, like, I'm, like, a fan of her and Rob. Like, I think that they're cool.
Yeah. She got more of her acting chops, like, being in Rob's movies. Like, it wasn't like she was, oh, she's this actress. And then, oh, I'm gonna...
She was, like, a professional dancer.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Like,
he just won the cat. But I don't really think... Like,
I think she was literally hired on at, like, a music video he was shooting. And that's how they met or something like that. Like, early with White Zombie.
Some of her roles were better or worse than others. But by and large, like, I didn't feel like any film was made or broken by her performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say fair, personally.
Yeah, she was probably like the least. Well, Mama. I was not a fan of Mama at all, actually. And like Tiny. But I'm talking on the main three. She's probably the least dynamic, screen captivating of the trio of the Firefly family. You know.
Yeah.
But like she was still entertaining in what she was in her role.
It would still feel like if she wasn't there, something would be missing. Like, it only works because of their dynamic.
And that that character only worked as her.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I definitely... Because, like, they're all, you know, even as just very unconventional and kind of fucking, you know, just absurd fucking characters.
Mm-hmm.
It works the way it does. Like, it works the way it is, and, like, nothing else. So, yeah, I would probably say that too. Well, are we ready to reel it in for the night?
Yeah. What did you end up saying? Fair?
Yeah.
For her? Alrighty. Yeah, I think we're about ready here.
Well, next solo episode, we will pick back up the movie review segment, give you another round of this or that, the good, the bad, and the shits, the usual, you know. Probably the aftermath of horror season. We've got one more episode for everybody in the month of October. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a big one.
And it is.
And it's been a great another edition of the Daylight in the Dark, part 8 tonight.
The final of the season.
So it is, yeah.
Wrap it up.
They've been great though. They've
Enjoy
been a lot of fun.
the rest of the Halloween season. We got one more. Keep watching them horror movies.
Oh yeah,
Stacking that list.
Make your list. Yeah, keep making the list. We want to see them at the end of the year. I've told people everywhere about making theirs. Always try to get as many people as possible here. So I'm gonna keep making mine.
Watching the movies, you got time, and I mean, there's a lot of cool, seasonal stuff to indulge in.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I should get out there and indulge in more.
Yeah.
Fall's the best time of year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been nice.
And it only feels this good here, you know, during fall for like a month and a half, so we really gotta soak it up.
I know. Until like you get like the first 2 weeks in November, and then it just starts getting a lot colder.
Yeah.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for episode 201. We are into the 200s now, of course. Took a while to get there, but we are there. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for supporting, tuning in for horror season. It's been a great time. We are not done yet. We've still got more left in the tank. And we hope everybody has a great week out there. Take care of yourselves. See you next time.